Be like, no.
long extension cord that spanned nearly the entire building. When he found the drunk, he passed out with a beer in one hand and the other down his pants. In front of him sat a TV and a VCR that was playing pornography.
A Ouija board with like the blood of a frog and the hand of a monkey, and I had to go under a bridge at 3 a.m. and unlock a door in a weird black market to buy the board. I would believe that that board was real. But the fact that I could go to my local Target and buy a Ouija board next to a Lego set of Super Mario Bros. Is probably telling me that that Ouija board is fucking fake. How do you say it? Ouija. A Ouija. I don't give a shit. A Ouija board. A Ouija board.
The person fully believes this is coming soon and that there have been warning signs all along. Yo,
A Luigi board. Maybe that's why it's next to Mario.
Roxas, stop that shit, bro. I'm gonna pee. A lot of people claim to have aliens in their dreams. Like one person who claimed to see a biblically accurate alien enslave the earth. Okay, first off, a biblically accurate alien. Got it. In their dream, a giant orange orb hovers over the earth, which is pulsating with plasma energy. It doesn't have eyes or any facial features, but everyone on earth felt like they were being watched. He described the being as God and explained that he knew without a doubt that the end of the world was imminent. The dream ended with the alien keeping people captive inside of a structure-like shopping mall and also abducting people and putting them into a giant orange orb. Sounds like he just wants to go to Orange Julius at the mall. Doesn't it? And I was super thirsty when I woke up. Rockshaw, stay away from me, man. Nobody truly knows when the world's gonna end, and that's probably a good thing. There are scientists out there who have listed numerous ways in which the Earth could end, right? Whether it's soon or within the next 1,000 years, but so far, every single prediction has been dead wrong. The next time you hear about some crazy world-ending event, take a step back and really think about what's being said. It's probably coming from someone who's chronically online or a scam artist looking to drain you of your bank account. Or, you know, pollution and all that kind of stuff will kill us too. There's a lot of fun ways the Earth's gonna end. It's gonna be sick. But hey, at least we have YouTube, am I right? Roll them credits!
I really liked that video. That was fun hearing about the various ways people convinced themselves the world was gonna end. Anyways. Yeah, he's in an eternal
Propaganda
slumber.
is everywhere. Billboards show images of missiles striking the US Capitol. Other posters sport slogans like, "Let's arm ourselves strongly with Kim Jong-il's patriotism." Disrespecting the communist dynasty can get you in big trouble. According to GQ, the Database Center for North Korean Human Rights confirmed a case of a factory janitor being prosecuted for bumping such a picture off the wall so that it fell and broke. Otto and the other tour members need to be careful. One wrong move, and they could face harsh punishment. Otto was raised in a suburb outside Cincinnati, Ohio, the oldest of 3 siblings. In high school, he was popular, athletic, and smart. At both prom and homecoming, he was crowned king. Speaking at his high school graduation, he quoted Andy Bernard from The Office.
"I wish there was a way to know that you're in the good old days before you've actually left them."
Now, he's majoring in finance. Halfway through his junior year, he decides to do a winter break adventure to North Korea. It makes sense. He'll be studying abroad in Hong Kong in the spring. In 2015, the State Department's travel advisory for North Korea is clear. It recommends against Americans traveling there at all. On the other hand, the website of Young Pioneer Tours, Otto Warmbier's travel agency, said that traveling to North Korea was, quote, extremely safe. The tour operator specializes in taking...
Yo, that's literally cap. Like, if you, even in 2015, if you landed in North Korea and you just went, fuck Kim Jong-un, arrested.
You to destinations your mother would rather you stay away from.
Kim Jong-un is both fat and stupid, arrested. Dead.
Parents had their concerns, but as Cindy Warmbier later said, why would you say no to a kid like this? Early in the tour, the group is visiting this ship, the USS Pueblo. The North Korean military captured
I'm not suicidal.
it in 1968. The North Koreans claimed it had entered their territorial waters.
I gotta rewind.
Captured it in 1968. The North Koreans claimed it had entered their territorial waters. Now it's a tourist attraction. When the North Korean tour guide explains that the ship was seized from the United States, he doesn't say
Yeah, and they always go, oh, with North Korea's might. With North Korea's might, we took hold of the ship. The very weak Americans died trying to fight us, and now we use it as a showcase that we're much stronger. Yo, we could flatten your country. Like, I mean, it's just it's garbage just being spit out of their mouth. Like, it is literally just like fucking king. Yo, nobody dick rides harder than the people of North Korea for Kim Jong-un. And it's not even because they want to. They have to, or they die.
United States. He says, the imperial enemy. Between
This is not political, chat, bro. I'm not putting a political warning.
In 1950 and 1953, the U.S. dropped an estimated 635,000 tons of bombs on the country, plus some 32,000 tons of napalm. Major cities were obliterated. 75% of Pyongyang was destroyed. During the war, as many as 1 million civilians perished.
Wow.
In 1953, a ceasefire ended combat in the Korean War, but a peace agreement was never signed. Technically, the North is still at war with the South, and with its ally, the US. Most Americans are unaware of this war, so much so that the Korean War is often referred to as the Forgotten War. Not so in North Korea. The North Korean tour guide explains what
Some random history that I'm probably going to poorly explain to you is that the U.S. originally didn't even want to get involved in, like, Asian war, like, involvements. But during, or right before the Korean War, something happened with Taiwan, and the U.S. wasn't going to get involved. And because it was outside of, like, the line of protection or something that they had geographically drawn. And then there was something that roped in the U.S. to Korea, and then that, like, fucked everything for, like, the involvement of China and Taiwan, and then also, like, Russia, and how they backed the North Korean, it was like the Iron Curtain involvement, where they were trying to get South Korea to be taken over. And so it became this whole thing that the U.S. ended up getting in. I'm explaining this terribly. Yeah, it was like, originally there was no plan for the U.S. to even enter the Korean War. Like, we were just going to be like, we're out of it. It's not our problem. You know, and then they just roped us in.
82 American sailors that were captured along with the ship. They were beaten, starved, and only released after 11 months. Otto Warmbier is not visiting just any country.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong on that. I probably got info wrong there, and I explained it bad.
He's in enemy territory. Danny Grattan, his roommate during the tour, will later recount that Otto seemed a little bit shocked. To lighten the mood, he and the other tour members give Otto a nickname, Imperial Enemy. The rest of the tour goes smoothly. Sightseeing during the day, restaurants and bars at night. They even engage with the local kids by having a friendly snowball fight. One of the reasons people
You just throw an ice ball and kill one of them, and then that's a big deal, too. That'd be fucking scary, bro.
travel is to understand the world a little better.
Like, I feel like if I was in North Korea, I wouldn't want to do anything there. Like, I would just sit in a room and wait until it was time to leave.
Brilliant does that for learning. It helps you engage with ideas in a hands-on way, so you can unlock
Oh, it's an ad.
to everything on the platform. Back to January 1st, after the fireworks. When the tour group returns to the Yanggokdo Hotel, they split up. Some go to the bar. Danny Grattan heads to the bowling alley. They lose track of Otto.
I'd be hitting that bowling alley up too, bro. Oh my God. Second they say we got a bowling alley in the hotel, yo, I'm on the lanes nonstop.
When Danny gets to his room, around 4:30 a.m., Otto is in bed, sound asleep. Then, a day and a half later, The group is ready to get on the plane. It's time to go home. As the last members of the group, Danny's and Otto's passports are checked. The officers take an unusually long time to scan their documents. Then Otto feels a sudden tap on his shoulder. There are 2 North Korean soldiers behind him. They lead him away. Danny doesn't think much of it and jokes, "Well, that's the last we'll ever see of you."
Oh my God, and that actually was the last time they saw him. I wonder if he would be able, like, was there anything he could have told them that would have them let him go? Because, like, they know he took the poster. So is there anything he could have said that would have been like, even if he was like, I love this country so much, I wasn't trying to commit a crime, I just wanted to have this poster as a memento because I'm too poor to ever come back here, and this is just something that I really wanted to, like, know. Even then, it just doesn't matter. You stole it.
Months later, Otto is standing trial in North Korea's Supreme Court. He's accused of
I was going to start a North Korean worship cult in the United States, and this was going to be something that I wanted to spread North Korean ideologies to the United States. Like, even if you were saying some shit like that.
Violating Article 60 of the DPRK Criminal Code, state subversion. The central piece of evidence is this CCTV footage. It's time-stamped. The early hours of New Year's Day, 2016. It shows a staff-only area in the Yanggakdo Hotel. A shadowy figure removes a poster from the wall and appears to set it on the ground.
Oh, he was in a staff-only room? Do you think they would have noticed if he had taken something from the hotel? That's what I know this is in the hotel, but I'm saying his room. Like, that's more what I would have tried to do. Like, if I was going to take something, like something from the room.
The poster looked like this, a propaganda poster, and it contained the Supreme Leader's name. Let's arm ourselves strongly with Kim Jong-il's patriotism. To remove it from the wall is a serious crime, a bid to impair the unity of North Korea's people. And that shadowy figure? According to the prosecutors, that is Otto Warmbier. The trial only lasts an hour. The Young Pioneers' North Korean tour guide testifies against Otto. A second witness takes the stand, an employee who says they noticed the poster had been taken from the wall. Otto's belongings are presented as evidence, and fingerprints are shown on a flat-screen TV. But most of the supposed evidence came from Otto's confession 2 weeks earlier. Here, he goes into the details.
Oh my God, don't tell me he actually didn't take the poster and they just framed a random guy.
On January 1st, 2016, New Year's Day, I committed severe crimes against both the people and the government of the DPR Korea. The task was given by the Friendship United Methodist Church. At the encouragement of the Z Society and the connivance of the United States administration.
He's saying that the U.S. government and the Methodist Church implored him to take the poster. Did he take it or did he just put it down? Like, I don't understand.
I can't.
And they're just looking at her like, let's just wait for her to die. Eventually, the manager pulled her up off the ground, and staff were checking her over to make sure that she was all right when they noticed that she had pissed herself during the fall and soiled her pink sweatpants.
Oh my God.
You fell down, you got pinned, I'm gonna piss myself. All right? That's not even an act of rebellion, that's just the facts. After she was deemed okay, she paid her rent, but moved out about a month later. Because why? How embarrassing is that? Yeah, I'm gonna be fucking.
Yeah, I mean, that would suck, man. It's funny that, like, you know, the situation unfolded in the way that it did, but being the person that, you know, basically falls over, the storage unit falls on your leg and you piss yourself and then you can't get up. It's like, now you're going to feel like you're being judged the entire time you're there.
There are numerous bizarre and horrific renter crimes. Tenants and managers don't always see eye to eye, but that doesn't mean they can't get along. Eric Adams worked at the 1 in 5 mini storage near Portland, Oregon for 15 years and was liked by most of the tenants. After about 5 days without hearing from Eric, a friend drove to check on him. He opened his storage unit and found Eric dead on the floor, Police determined that the cause of death was blunt force trauma from items found in his own unit. Suspicion grew when none of Eric's valuables were taken, suggesting it wasn't a robbery. His death would remain a mystery for a year until
So it's just a straight up murder.
police gained access to the keypad records and found that one tenant was at the facility during Eric's final moments. Rob Caputa had entered the facility around the same time that Eric did, but after an hour, only one left. He was a long-term tenant at his unit since 2019, averaging about 55 items per month. But after Eric's last
What do you mean 55 items a month? He had been at the business often. He showed up to the storage unit 55 times a month? What the fuck do you have at your storage unit that you're showing up over almost twice a day? You're going to the storage unit more than people go to the gym.
he avoided facility for 3 weeks.
See, now he would have had to keep coming back around. That makes him seem sketchy. You're going there every day. You're a fucking regular at the old storage unit. You know people by name, and then you just disappear.
Not good, Rob. Suspicious activity, Robert. Rob was eventually arrested after DNA was found on Eric's body and was sentenced to 3.5 years in jail. That seems short. In court,
Seems very short.
it was revealed that Rob killed Eric after someone ran over his dog at the storage facility, and he blamed Eric for its death. He fucking John Wicked him. He doesn't know if it's Eric. He's just like, you have to die.
You got 3.5 years for first-degree murder? He ran over my dog. Well, no, he didn't run over your dog. Your dog just got ran over.
Another man in North Carolina was locked in his unit for days without food or water by his girlfriend.
Women, man.
That's also unsafe. I feel like storage units should kind of be like refrigerators in that, like, you should be able to get out regardless. Or like aren't most car trunks like built in with hatches to where you're able to escape even if you're stuck inside? Like that's scary that you could lock yourself in a storage unit and not be able to get out. Well, you couldn't lock yourself in. Somebody could lock you in.
In 2024, police responded to a call at the Cooper storage compound from a man who claimed that he was locked.
But how would they have a safety mechanism for that? Because the latch is always, the security lock's always on the outside. There would have to be like a side door that's just a one-way.
Inside his girlfriend's storage unit. When they opened the door, they found Gary Oxidine, weak and emaciated, on the floor. He had been surviving in the unit for days with no supplies until he found his phone in complete darkness and called for help.
It took him 4 days to find.
Yeah, that is a little crazy. It took him 4 days to find his phone. Previously accused his girlfriend of locking him in a storage unit for days and now saying the charges were a mistake.
Days with no supplies.
What do you mean saying the charges are a mistake?
Until he found his phone in complete darkness and called for help.
It took him 4 days to find. What?
I wonder if on the last day he's just like, I really should look for my phone, actually. I'm not gonna die here. After his rescue, his girlfriend, Robin Deaton, was arrested and charged with attempting murder and kidnapping. However, after the charges went public, Gary spoke to the media and claimed that the accusations were bogus. He said he had simply fallen asleep in the unit and his girlfriend had locked it without realizing he was inside.
How do you? You're the significant other, and you showed up to the unit together. What? That'd be like me and Brooke going to a storage unit. I fall asleep, and she locks me inside. And she's like, I don't know where Joe went. I didn't see him. What? How do you not notice it's a storage unit, not a fucking mansion?
This was in complete contrast to what he said in the 911 call, where he claimed his girlfriend was trying to kill him. When the case went to court, the charges were dropped after Gary admitted to lying, and the couple was able to walk free. I'm telling you, that is some diabolical.
That is some crazy relationship shit. I don't understand how I understand he drops the charges because he doesn't want her to get in trouble, but like, how do you even argue that she didn't mean to do that?
If you think padlocks are going to keep your stuff safe, then you're mistaken, because break-ins happen.
Sopping wet shoes. Ugh.
But in the ostrich pen, something is wrong.
Oh my God, did it die?
As it decided to strike. But it is just too much for his little body. The vets did everything they could.
Oh my God, did they have to put him down?
But he didn't make it through the night. I'm so sorry.
Bad. And you know he probably got the most attached to the ostriches too. Because there's like so many fucking quails.
I just want to go to bed.
They're all convinced I'm their mother.
Oh, not my ear, please. I love you guys, but this is just too much.
They can't go more than an hour without me.
Look at them all.
In contrast, the quail grew more independent with age.
No.
Unfortunately, they had all learned how to fly. No! Now, they are fully feathered and fully grown.
What does he do? Release them into the fucking wild? At that point, it's like, bro, you have too many birds. They're just flying around your fucking house.
Oh my.
The ducks, however,
Covered in piss. Why is that water yellow?
grown.
Oh.
Water's fucking straight yellow.
Oh my.
The ducks, however, have grown way too big for the bath.
Oh my god.
This is the moment I realized they don't belong in my home.
All right, the hair's kind of growing on me. Yo, he's got sick ass. He's got like a flow state going on right here. You see this shit? Oh my god, wait, no, this one actually has so much more aura than the others.
They don't belong in my home.
Nah, bro, that's like a sick ass tuft of hair now. Oh my god, bro, he literally has a fucking afro.
The bath quickly became a swamp.
They're biting my feet. They're trying to eat my feet.
Or not an afro, not a moa, a mohawk.
We need to find a better solution.
I mean, what could we use that's bigger than this?
Fortunately, I had the perfect thing. So, not to brag, but this is probably the
He
coolest
just shit in the pool.
thing I've ever done.
Nah, watching them swim underwater is fucking so cool.
But that's when it hit me. They weren't babies anymore. None of them were. They don't belong here.
Freaking disaster.
I can't do this anymore.
Oh my god, does he have to like let them go?
They barely sleep. I haven't shaved and the house smells awful. But there is a place that's willing to take them. The only catch, they're over 20 hours away.
Oh my god, road tripping with fucking so many ducks in your car.
Time for a road
10 hours in.
trip.
I'm taking them to one of the greatest animal rescues in the country, run by someone I'm proud to call my friend.
Welcome to the Urban Rescue Ranch.
Bro, what? I feel like I've watched him with like Forrest Galante.
What's up, Ben?
This place is a sanctuary to many.
Oh my god, he owns kangaroos.
This place is a sanctuary to many forms of life. From an actual bobcat.
Oh my god.
To the nicest foxes you've ever seen.
Oh, it's so nice
I love the noises they make.
to meet you.
Have you ever heard a fox like cry really happily? They're like, "Ear, ear, ear, ear."
How are you feeling? You enjoying the summer weather? Amongst all my weeds?
Oh my god. You know foxes are self-domesticating themselves. Like, in a few generations, like our generations, not fox generations, they're basically just going to be like, not dogs or cats, but they're going to be much more friendly to people than they've ever been.
And the ducks, well, they got an entire pond to themselves.
Oh, welcome home, guys.
Oh my god, but actually having to leave them is kind of really sad. Because he effectively was their mom.
And the ostriches will get to roam free on over 3 acres of land. And in only a few years' time, they will look like this. Soon, they will have babies of their own and the cycle will continue all over again.
Wow. Loved that video. Loved it. Loved it. Amazing.
While others fled to the caves and sealed themselves deep underground, which I'm pretty sure is partially some of the inspiration for Fallout.
Oh.
There you go. After the comet passed and nothing happened, people were shocked to still be alive, and they moved on with the rest of their lives. I wonder what's happened with the guy who took comet pills. Well, Greg, we took those cut. You like look over to him. He's like having a seizure.
He's on Halley's Comet right now.
Yeah. Woo! In 1993, former sociology professor Hon Ming Chen had created a Taiwanese cult named God Salvation Church. It had also referred to itself as Chen Dao, or True Way, as well as God Saves the Earth Flying Saucer Foundation. I like that one the most. God Saves the Earth Flying Saucer Foundation. It was a belief system that was a mix of various religions and other Western cult-like beliefs, like the acceptance of alien intervention, right? You see a lot of that with Heaven's Gate. Kind of became a big thing in the 70s.
Yeah, the Heaven's Gate shit was so fucking stupid, though. There's an alien spaceship that's passing by. You have to kill yourself to reach it. Huh? Huh? If you die, you'll go to the gate. What? No.
Kind of evolved over time. He claimed that the second coming of Christ would occur in 1999, with God revealing himself from a spaceship disguised as clouds that would take his followers up to heaven.
That'd be sick.
He claimed that he could talk to the gods and receive their wisdom through golden balls that he could see traveling across the sky. Of course, salvation was not free. It was reported that Chen charged $60,000 to join Chen Tao and another $30,000
$60 grand
to board their spaceship. He's like, you keep it under 100. They won't be suspicious.
Mind games.
Exactly. It's all here. He convinced 140.
Bro, how do you convince people to pay money for that, though, if you're also leaving? I just don't... Like, I don't want to say... I understand it's, like, a cult and there's, like, a bit of brainwashing involved, but I'm like, dude, these people are, like, more than gullible. Like, you're flat out falling for somebody saying, hey, give me $100,000 and we're all going to go on a spaceship somewhere else. Why do you need the money?
Dedicated members to sell all their belongings and move to California in 1995 after changing his mind about where the historic event would take place. This changed after followers witnessed the numbers 007 written in the clouds, which was interpreted as a sign that they must relocate their headquarters elsewhere. AKA, there was probably a 007 convention happening around. They're like, oh, Colorado, we gotta go. Despite the fact that this was actually just a marketing stunt to advertise the night it up.
Oh my god, a fucking religious cult saw 007 in the sky and changed where they needed to all move because of a James Bond ad.
Bear Trap. To advertise the 1997 James Bond movie Tomorrow Never Dies. They slowly relocated to Garland, Texas. Apparently, this is because Chin thought saying Garland really fast sounded like Godland.
From what Master Chin says, Garland sounds like Godland, and apparently thousands of years ago, God was here and they were told to return here.
Garland. What's that sound like? Can I do that accent, or is that a problem?
I think it's
All right. Chin had guaranteed on his own life that God would make his appearance in Texas, of all places. Not a bad bet. You're in good company in Texas saying that kind of shit. Where would God go first? Everyone's like, probably fucking Texas. Probably fucking Texas, all right? In total, they purchased around 30 houses on Ridgedale Avenue, soon handing out flyers to its other inhabitants on bicycles in order to thank them for tolerating their activity in the neighborhood as well as their magnanimous acceptance. Trying to win people over. It's like, more money. Garland, we kind of weird. See a ball in sky.
Oh, no.
Garland, what's that sound like to you? Like, what? Garland, what's it sound like? Rhetorical. Don't talk. I talk you don't talk back. They would wear all white outfits and cowboy hats. Awesome. That is so sick. Confusing the neighborhood as to why they suddenly become the headquarters of a strange cult. Some claim they were friendly and that their beliefs were simply amusing to them. AKA, they're like, look, they look funny. What do you guys happen? Be alien. You don't talk to them. We cowboy now. Right. Oh, okay. You are phony as man.
But when
that
did
is
they?
awesome.
Oh,
They claim
no.
that on
When did they fucking stop believing in that, though? Did they, like, turn on the leader guy?
the 25th, just days before, God would show himself on Channel 18 across every television set in the country, taking on Chen's exact appearance.
It's 5 minutes after 12 right now, and Han Min Chen's not on there yet. And according to his own philosophy and preachings that we've heard, he's a phony.
He knew he had an interview coming.
So he had an interview for why it didn't happen and he just never showed?
I don't know. From there, God would then help people survive a nuclear apocalypse that would occur in 1999. It would bring people to a specific rendezvous point on the shores of Lake Michigan, where flying saucers would take them to heaven after potentially stopping briefly on planet Mars, of course. And people in the neighborhood feared that the group would end up committing a because, you know, Heaven's Gate. March 31st rolled around and still nothing happened. Chin approached a crowd of reporters and stated that he must have misinterpreted God's message. He stated that his remaining followers would once again relocate to New York. A large majority of them...
Oh my God, and the group definitely is just dwindling, you know? 140 people at the start. First miss, 100. Second miss, 80. Third miss, 60. Like, he's getting a smaller and smaller circle here that's following him place to place.
Gave up on Chin 2 entirely and began the process of moving back to Taiwan. He told everyone that he would punish himself by giving everyone in the crowd the next 10 minutes to either crucify or stone him to death, which nobody took him.
What? He told his followers, all right, you guys could just stone me to death. It's fine. I was wrong.
From there, Chin Tao's numbers were severely reduced, and the group faded into obscurity by the early 2000s. Who even knows? He might even still be out there.
I hope they crucified him.
What if one guy's like, I will? He's like, well.
The one guy actually does lean it. You guys could stone me, man. I'm sorry. I was so wrong about the end of the world. All right, I'll do it. Oh, wait, no. No. When I meant like figuratively stone, like maybe hurl insults at me, not actually kill me.
Oh, 1 second. The ball just like fucking gets stoned. End of the world predictions have only become more common with the advancement of technology. And it wasn't too long ago that people thought computers were going to end the world.
And that this was going to be an apocalypse.
It was 8 to 10% of the world population believed that the world would end or go into disaster in 2000. What, because technology would stop working because it wasn't able to function or something? Why the fuck would technology stop working?
Believe that the planes would crash, nuclear reactors would melt down, and systems controlling rockets would fail and be launched at random. All of this delirium stemmed from a simple misunderstanding of computers' code. People believed that when the computer switched to 00, it would actually go back to 1900 and cause computer systems to fail. Oh God!
No, it would just change the number. And the year 2000 is also based off the Gregorian calendar, which the majority of the world functions on. It actually has no definitive relation to the Earth at all. We for some reason live at 2025. It's not actually 2025. The Earth has been around for a long fucking time. It's based off the Gregorian calendar, which is based off Jesus.
God! To prepare for this upcoming event.
But roughly, because actually wasn't Jesus actually born around like the year 4 AD, not 0? Yeah, he was born between 6 and 4 BC. I don't know.
Then people withdrew their cash, believing that electronic banking would fall apart and destroy them financially. Businesses like Best Buy and Radio Shack warned people to turn off their computers so they wouldn't be messed with the time switch. And others built bunkers and stocked up supplies. On New Year's Day, all the computers switched over and there were minor crashes. Various ATMs were temporarily down and stoplights occasionally stopped working and random databases went down. No major computer system failed and all seemed to be normal. Out of all the craziness, nobody died, though a 104-year-old woman was invited to join a preschool because the system believed she was 4. Isn't that cute? That's awesome. If you're watching this, chances are the most memorable end of the world prediction from your...
That is pretty funny. You live so long that you start getting emails to join a preschool because because computers recognize you as 4 years old.
Your lifetime is the 2012 phenomenon. For people that don't remember this, or if you're too young or whatever, let me just tell you, when I was a kid, the 2012 thing, people were actually afraid of 2012. They were really afraid. My grandma, who has now passed, was like, we were watching the History Channel. She used to chain smoke cigarettes. We'd be watching like the History Channel. Of course, the History Channel had nothing to do with history. It was like aliens and shit. She's chain smoking cigarettes, and then we were watching this 2012 thing, and she was getting me like horrified. And I was like watching it. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, like full on telling her, or full on telling him, you know, this is actually gonna happen. It's 2010. You only got 2 more years left, Hunter. I'd take those years I'd cherish them if I were you. Me, I've lived a long life. You're gonna die young. Sorry.
This is real? I'm like, this is like how many? This is like 10 years from now, you know, whatever. And she was like, when that year comes around, we should all stay together and we should just get together and make sure that we're with family. And I was like, a haunting thing to say. It's like so cryptic, but everything's there. Like, we're gonna die and we should be together. If fucked me up, dude.
Was it the Nostradamus?
No, it was like, I can't, it's been so long, I can't remember. But all I know is just like the Mayan calendar's ending. Which also, even as a kid though, she's like, what the fuck do they know? And she was like, well, the Mayans. I'm like, who cares about the Mayans? The fuck, maybe they ran out of stone. You know what I mean? I mean, how far
are different in that Europeans get drunk in a field when they're like 12. Like, the shit I've heard from some of my chatters that live in like the UK, it's like they do crazy shit in Europe, but they do crazy shit in Europe and it's like thinned over a 10-year period. Whereas like in the US, a lot of guys do nothing until like right before college, like senior year. Then they start drinking and then they just go fucking crazy.
Hazing event, right? We're going to do a report because we responded to a fire alarm, which we were trying to get people to evacuate because of the fire alarm. But from my understanding, you guys refused to evacuate from a fire alarm after an officer is ordering everybody to vacate the premise. And then on top of that, we find this hazing event. We want to speak to somebody. Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows anyone. Nobody knows what's going on. This is going in a report. The University of Iowa is going to see this. Okay. And with the stuff going around across the country, students dying from hazing.
That was the guy I was talking about.
Events. I'm not saying it's to that level. I'm not saying any, but the university has a very, very strict policy on hazing.
Wasn't this kid permanently disabled? I think this is the most recent one out of all of them they've showed.
If I can't talk to people,
no, it wasn't.
And if people aren't going to cooperate with me, that's their right. They don't have to speak to me. However, that means only my observations are going to go into this report. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to look worse than if people can kind of explain to us what's going on, right? Because then I can at least put your guys' side of the story in it as well. So I guess I want to know what we got going on. Like, you're saying it's a ritual prior to initiation? Yes. Okay. I guess I'm asking for some cooperation and some coordination with your people here.
I will say, I don't want to, it's to his credit, he's acting a lot. I get why this guy's the president off of the surface level conversation he's having with the police. Like, he's being a lot more professional than the guy that was hitting his vape and going, I think this ID's fake.
So just tell your people, like, hey, if that's what people need to do, just politely tell us that, right? So I guess I'm looking for you to kind of be a leader here and help us out a little bit and start trying to keep everybody in line. Okay?
I apologize.
Okay, let's go back inside.
I just want to, if we can get that guy out of there, I just want to coordinate some way to make sure that there's no injuries, there's nothing.
Which president?
Yeah.
It's okay. I just texted him. I told him you gotta leave.
It's your guys' house.
Okay.
However, if the supervisor of the house, president, says he is not welcome here, then I'm going to escort him off property.
Okay. I think
if he refuses that, then he's going to be arrested.
We'll walk him out. Yep.
Okay.
Who? The guy with the Iowa shirt?
I would take care of that because the longer he stays here, I mean, he's getting close to being arrested.
Oh, the guy that was hitting his vape.
The next day, police pay a visit to Joseph's apartment after he was very uncooperative the day before. After 10 minutes of talking, he again proved to be uncooperative and difficult to deal with.
So you interjecting yourself into that conversation, what good does that...
They don't need to talk to the cops. I don't even...
Why are you deciding who they need to talk to, though?
I'm just saying, they're my buddies, they're my friends.
Right. The police are doing an investigation.
About what?
They're trying to figure out what's going on in that room.
What was going on in the room? What have you heard?
So, they're doing an investigation.
Yep.
You don't dictate.
I don't know, man. Like, why? Like, it's just making it worse to just, because they already saw what, like, just explain it. Right? Just be like, hey, they had to stand in a room and he would cover them with, like, ketchup and mayo and shit. Because that might have been what it was. The one kid looked like he had mustard on his tie. They might just be dousing him with water and shit. And that might not, I don't know the legality on that. Right? I don't think it was cum, McChunky. I think that would be, I think that'd be crazy.
undertake the investigation, right?
Yeah,
That's for the police. That's for us to investigate, right?
Yeah, I get
right.
that.
You understand that?
Yeah.
So why are you dictating who the police can talk to and can't talk to?
I'm just telling my buddies not to talk to them. That's it.
Okay. So you're interfering with the police officers?
Not at all.
job.
Not at all.
But
He never said, "Oh, if you don't get away, you're getting arrested." He never said that once.
He did tell you to step away. He
I
told you to
stepped there
walk
for
away.
and then he said it again. I walked away.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
So he asked you
I
to
would,
walk
I would
away.
like to end this conversation right now, please.
Okay.
I would like to have a word here.
Okay.
And if there's anything actually happening, you can call me again. But it's been a pleasure. Thanks, fellas. So I didn't catch your name.
So this is Lieutenant Travis Tyrell.
Travis.
122, we'll take you. What'd you say your name was?
Joseph.
All right. Joseph? All right, so unfortunately for you, at this point, you're being placed under arrest. You can put your hands behind your back.
Joseph was arrested for interference with official acts in connection with the hazing incident. Those charges would be dropped a year later. The Alpha
Yeah, I didn't think they really had much to stand on there.
Delta Phi fraternity was suspended through 2029 for hazing.
See, I actually have a genuine question here. When this frat gets suspended for 4 years, when it can get redone, how does a frat, how do they start it again, right? Because generally speaking, if a frat gets banned, all their members have to disband the frat. So then when it's 2029 and the frat becomes a thing again, how do they get new members and a new president and all that? Like, I'm assuming it's just like, oh, starting a new frat. Like, it's like new members entirely have to be like, this is what we're going to do. And then it's like, you know, you get a new wave of people, I would assume. But like most frats have been going on for years, right? Where it's like a cycle of new and old people. Is it illegal to haze? In 44 out of 50 states, yeah. All right, I got to piss real quick, then we're going to hop into the next video. See you.
Okay, just try and figure it out yourself. Let me show you an edit, and I want you to figure out which one is the person that made it.
Okay, no, that's...
Did you...
I feel like that one's a joke, though. That one's a joke, though.
Did you find them? Let's try another one. People in the comments are just flaming this nigga too. This guy just replied with this image. Fitting. I don't know where this nigga thought he was going with this. That's not a sneak-in, that's trespassing. Twin, being nice does not cost anything. Okay, but on TikTok you also find the higher ranking BP people having mug-offs.
Bro, like, what the fuck? This is an actual thing? A mog off? And they're getting donations to see who looks better. This guy's making like a weird rock smolder right now. This guy, I feel like this guy got the mog off probably. I'd vote him winning.
But can we address the elephant in the room though? This BP business is kind of zesty. Really look at the facts here, alright? We have men editing other men.
Yeah, it's like full focusing on other guys' attributes and being like obsessive over how they look.
Because they think they look good. And I've looked at how these people act and speak too. They worship Marlon like a deity because they like the way that he looks. I don't know about you, but that sounds a little sus to me. You know, if they're taking back shots or not, that's not really my concern. I just had to...
I really do feel like Marlon has a very big BP community. Like, not even like he's trying to have it. It's just like, I bet Marlon has a lot of people that just like him because they find him attractive, but it's also like a lot of people that like want to look like Marlon.
I saw gay, so I said gay.
But these BP people like to throw around the term female gaze. The whole goal of BP, I guess, is to capture the female gaze. And they actually do have a calculated way that they measure attractiveness. It's not just, oh, I think this guy looks better. And this is known as PSL. And
bro, I don't know, man. I really feel like it's personality, bro. I have seen so many guys pull girls way out of their league at bars because they're just really good at talking. And I'm not even saying flirting, just holding a conversation. Like the amount of my friend, like I would say Brooke's out of my league, right? I would say that she's much more attractive than me. I don't think when we started dating, I don't think I was like some savant at talking, right? But like I think I got lucky, right? But I do have a lot of friends that I think are very interesting people. And I wouldn't say they're ugly, but they outwardly say their girlfriends are like 4 tiers higher than them attractiveness wise. And it's like, it's not because they went on the BP route and they pulled her. It's like, no, they went up, had a conversation, found common interests, right? Liked each other. And it's like, then that's how they find you attractive. Like,
alongside PSL, they also use the term appeal. Appeal is more just people finding you attractive regardless of your PSL. Now with PSL, this is where we get shit like this. This is what you would call a PSL god.
Oh my gosh.
But a PSL god wouldn't necessarily have appeal. Because again, look at this shit. So I guess PSL is purely for the male gaze then. My zesty theory.
Is that a real photo? That's not a real photo. Chat, that's a real image? No. That is. That jaw structure is unreal, though. But that's what I'm saying, like, I'm not judging this guy by any means either. I feel like why is, like, I think it's just, like, the more, like, you look like a stone sculpture, the more attractive you are on a PSL scale.
This is where we get shit like this. This is what you would call a PSL god. But a PSL god wouldn't necessarily have appeal. Because again, look at this shit. So I guess PSL is purely for the male gaze then. My zesty theory is being proven again. And I find this is no better time than any to really dive into the BP terminology. First word you probably already know, it's Chad. These are people that the BP community can collectively agree, you know, look good. So mainly like these 3 models. And then we have Chad Light. What am I talking about, cunt? But anyways, this is just a little lower. You wouldn't really be considered a Chad, but I don't know if you have to apply for Chad status. Is that something that they do?
No, I always thought that you can't move up, like, far, right? In the BP community, well, you could like make yourself more attractive and move up, but like if you're sub 5, you're never gonna be a Chad in the BP community. But if you're like a Chad Light, if you got like a different haircut, maybe like they'll fucking up you. I don't know.
But if you're an unidentified attractive person, you're what's known as
real life Marlon. Like Marlon's an anime character that doesn't exist.
Talking about, bro. What the fuck does that mean, bro? I'm telling you, they worship this nigga Marlon like a deity. They don't even consider him real. And if you're the very pinnacle of male attractiveness, you're what's known as a true Adam. And this one guy they call a true Aladdin because he's Middle Eastern. There's not really a pattern there because that's the only example I could find. So maybe there's a different true so-and-so depending on
who's like a true Adam though.
The race. I don't know. And then we have the term high tier normie or HTN for short, which means you're a really good looking person for somebody that's not an actor or model, just missing out on Chad Light status. There's also mid tier normie, which is somebody who out of 10 is like a 6 to a 7. I know what I just said. Just be cool.
I think people normally rate me like mid low tier normie.
Please. Then there's a low tier normie, which is pretty much just an average looking person. And then, you know, sub 5, which you know what that means. That's pretty much all the dumbass terminology these niggas use. But we also have the president of Black Pill, Clav. You know, interesting guy. People call him the insecure final boss.
Marlon Moggs.
Didn't he say, oh my god, wait. I know this clip.
Marlon Moggs, all of you? Yeah, but he's black.
Yeah, what a fucking comeback. What a fucking comeback. Isn't Marlon also not black? Like, it's just, Marlon Moggs, all of you. Yeah, but he's black, so.
No, he's not.
Reasonable take. But overall, the whole belief with Black Pill is lookism, which means if you're chopped, people are just gonna treat you
like what that means. Like, what an outwardly racist thing to say. Like, it's just like, yeah, but you know.
Obviously, people do treat you different depending on how you look. You see how they did Dream? Bro, people who had never heard of him were just flaming him after the face reveal.
What do you think the BP community rates Dream?
Just because he looked a little bit like Rumpelstiltskin. It's really just the angle he recorded it. He's not even chopped for real. See? But you know,
sub 5?
The idea of people...
I feel like they do like low tier normally sub 5. I don't know. It's just like anybody... Dude, when you go on like BP TikTok, you realize anybody you like... dude, like Brad Pitt, for example. They probably rate him pretty high. I would say Brad Pitt is a 10. I would say Brad Pitt in Fight Club is a 10. Like, he is like a very attractive guy. But I feel like I could say that. I don't know what they rate him, but I wouldn't be surprised if, like, I would say, hey, this guy looks like a 10, 4. And here's why. And then they'll give you a 4-paragraph statement on, like, every small thing that's wrong with their face and why they should be rated lower.
Treating you differently just because of how you look. Black pillars just do too much with it.
Would Charlie Kirk have gotten assassinated if he were Chad? Well, probably not.
What? 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 Would Charlie Kirk have gotten assassinated if he was a Chad? Probably not. Is this a fucking meme video? Clav is trying to say that if Charlie Kirk was more attractive, he wouldn't have gotten fucking killed.
Would Charlie Kirk have gotten assassinated if he were Chad? Well, probably not, and here's why. Good-looking people experience something called the halo effect, so it's quite possible that if Charlie were to be better looking, someone wouldn't have hated him enough to assassinate him.
The whole mess.
What? 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 What the fuck? What are you talking about, bro? What do you mean? If he was more attractive, he wouldn't have died. I mean, I could understand, like, you're saying the halo effect of, like, people like more attractive people. Not in the argument of assassinations. I feel like the immediate counterpoint to that is, like, it wasn't John F. Kennedy considerably one of the most attractive presidents ever? Shot in the head. Broad daylight.
You just lost to me now. I don't even know what's going on. The belief in this.
What? Oh, well, he was a Chad White. He wasn't a Chad.
This idea is objectively wrong and also lame. Please find a place of employment. Where are you finding this time to edit over people that you have chopped? See, self-improvement and I guess looks maxing by extension is not necessarily a bad thing. And honestly, I believe having deep pockets is more powerful than looking good. Let's take this guy Cuffham, for example. See, I'm not gonna say he's chopped. Let's just let the results speak.
The first algorithm we'll look at is designed to judge the beauty or attractiveness of your face.
Point two. No fucking way.
We'll give you a score between 0 and 10.
But he has motion and he's pretty financially abundant and he has managed to acquire females. Money and status really has a larger influence in how you look. Am I about to make my own pill? I'm gonna call that shit purple pill or PP for short. But deep it though, Elon Musk could really bag more than a broke ass nigga that looks like this. And Elon really built like a Tesla for real. But it doesn't really matter because that 0.7 in his net worth could retire several generations. Yet black pillars still believe looks are every—
Damn, I didn't even think about that, bro. The 0.7. The 0.7, $700 million.
Generations, Yet black pillars still believe looks are everything, you slow ass niggas. So you know, instead of smashing your skull, how about you get some motion? Looks maxes, black pillars, they're a community and they like to share their knowledge. And the best place to see this in action is Reddit/looksmaxing advice. Whatever you do, if you want actual advice, do not look on here. Let's take a look, shall we? 15, male, is it over for me? Nigga in the comments said, you could just be famous. Alright, bro must have taken PP. That stands for purple pill, by the way. Okay, next. What can I do? Please be honest. Okay, so niggas are trolling. Okay, so the 1 in a billion chance that— okay, the 1 in 0 chance that this is real. It's time to let it go, Unk. Let me try to find some actual serious ones then. Alright, this guy, 28, chronically single, and I know my forehead is huge. Okay, sounds reasonable. His forehead cannot be that bad. Interesting. The comments have some helpful suggestions. Shaved head might be the move. Maybe balance it out with a light goatee. You evil ass nigga, okay? You know what you're doing, bro. Gain about 30 pounds and you grow into that head. Is that something—
Gain about 30 pounds and you grow— Stop. I'm trying to— That's actually fucked. No, that's actually fucked.
You can grow into a head. Tell women you can read minds. Next, bro. Surprisingly, a lot of women on this subreddit too. I don't think they really reply to—
There's women in the BP community. I thought that's only— but is there like BP guidelines for women?
Posts, but they put a lot of them up. And maybe my black pillars being zesty theory was wrong because a lot of them put up shots instead of actually giving advice. How big is my forehead? 1 to 10. You know, coming from the last one, you know, I'm gonna give this shit a 1. I think a lot of people in the comments forgot that question though, especially fucking Shakespeare over here. I'm captivated by how pretty you are. I would kiss that big forehead. It's not big, just kissable is all. I'll give it to you. You're tough, I guess, twin. Shut of the year. And then there's this guy that just said, can I have your number, please?
No. Oh my goodness, Valentine! No, whoa, no! That is not the shot!
That's air, bro. That's straight air. And you know, sometimes even the girls' posts get flamed. You find me attractive. Why/why not? See,
Why are women going on the looks max? I mean, like, why is anybody going on this? But why are women going on the looks maxing advice?
a lot of these comments are just not nice. But one stood out to me. This guy said, "You look like you're offended by everything." Honestly, not a bad observation. You can't hate it. Okay, the more I dive down this subreddit, the less I believe it's actually serious. Just look at...
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it's got to be meme shit. There's probably like there is a BP community, but like, dude, a subreddit that anybody can join, bro. A lot of people are just gonna join it to troll.
some of these posts. Is it over for me? 214 male. It's been over for quite some time, Abe. 19 female. How do I improve my looks? Reincarnation, man. Okay, I'm gonna just leave it there, but you know, message of the vid, take PP, not BP. Bye. Outro.
Wow. Next video, chat. 455-gallon drums of syrup.
Move the syrup, but
hangs up.
Did notice that bugs and other vermin were starting to hoard around the locker.
I think they stole the syrup. I think it was a little syrup thief.
So you think that these are people that like they went to the Aunt Jemima factory?
Yeah.
Does syrup go bad?
I don't think it does.
I think about it. I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen bad syrup. Editor note: can syrup go bad?
Yeah. No, syrup could go bad, and I think I've had expired syrup before at like an Airbnb. Do you guys use the condiments they have at Airbnbs? I do, but I'm always worried. I always get worried, bro. I'm gonna go to an Airbnb and use their shampoo, and the person before would have put Nair in it, and then I'll just see my hair just like falling into the fucking... Dude, that's such an unrealistic fear, but I mean, that could definitely happen. Like, somebody puts Nair in the fucking soap that they give you at, like, an Airbnb, and I'm using it, and then my hair just starts fucking falling out of my head. Some shit like that. I used the syrup, though, and I remember one tasted weird one time, and I looked at it, and it was, like, 2 years expired. No, but it could get moldy. Yeah, I guess that... Oh, God, was it moldy? No, it just tasted weird.
A lot of storage facilities act as graveyards for deceased people's stuff. Once the person is gone, their belongings can sit there for years until the container is auctioned off along with the stuff inside. One of the most common finds is war memorabilia left behind by veterans. Usually it's old medals, uniforms, and guns, but on rare occasions, it leads to live arsenals being discovered, aka they have like a fucking bomb. Out in Rockwell, Texas, bomb squads were called to a storage space containing what they were told were live military-grade munitions. When they
that is literally a missile shell.
Arrived, they were greeted with boxes of hand grenades, old ammo, and even live tank rounds. That guy's just like, I want to take them. My business is not done. After safely removing all the explosives, they were taken to a nearby field and detonated. God, what a fun day.
They better let me go to that, you know? There was a controlled detonation in a nearby field. I feel like they'd have to invite the guy. If I'm the one that... do you think if you own the storage unit, the police would let you come with them to the field where they'd blow it up?
And detonated. God, what
Have to.
a fun day. How sick would that be? Well, you got to use them. Look at your buddy. You're making money.
No, that's lame as hell. I'd be like, give me money. Give me $500 for the fucking rounds then.
Dreams come true. All that's...
So did they get the watch?
Yeah. The people blowing them up?
Or I meant the people who bought the storage unit.
Oh, they better. I'd be like, yeah, this is fucking bullshit. You better let me blow. I'd be like, you need to rent me.
Yeah, dude, I would want them to give me the little presser thing where I go, boom, and it blows up like dynamite.
Tank so I can shoot this. I feel like you can rent tanks for not that much either. There's no...
What? It's only $600 you get to drive a tank? Oh, you get to crush a car. You pay $3,000 almost. You get 5-ton transport, 2 passengers. You get to drive all 3 of these things. Crush a car, 5 machine guns. Barrett 50 cal. Shop and equipment tour. Might as well fucking write that off. That's stupid.
Guns, like they're not, but you can drive them. That's a lot of places you can do. You can like run over cars with them and stuff.
Oh, but in a location, you can't just take it to your house.
No, it's a...
Oh, okay.
No. No, the treads would tear up the road. The city would be very mad. It is unclear who the previous owner was and how they acquired such a dangerous collection. Investigators discovered the bombs while investigating the owner for a massive Ponzi scheme. While searching his locker in hopes of finding more evidence, investigators instead uncovered explosives. In total, police removed 60 PVC pipe bombs and over 400 cardboard explosives. Like a Home Depot terrorist. The owner, S. von Merchenthaler, was arrested and sentenced to 11 years in prison for illegal possession of explosive and weapons.
That guy was starting a revolution.
That guy was getting ready. I'm like, some bank just got spared because some motherfucker was going in. If you go digging through people's stuff, you were bound to find creepy items that they didn't want you to see in the light of day. In Florida, a former medical examiner's dirty secrets were aired out when he defaulted on his storage payments. Dr. Michael Birkland, a medical examiner based out of Pensacola from 1997 to 2003, was fired for not creating proper autopsy reports. Uh-oh.
Yeah, this does not sound good.
So he was stealing body parts or something? Oh my God. He was a guy that did autopsies, was taking like fingers and genitals and shit from people, storing them in a fucking locker.
My asshole immediately did. Following his departure,
the guy had no butthole when I found him.
Continued performing autopsies until 2007, when he stopped altogether. And in 2012, Michael's storage locker was auctioned off for $900 as he could no longer afford it. When the new owner started digging through the stuff, he found a stack of boxes in the back.
$900? Who the fuck would pay $900 for a random storage unit?
Corner and was disgusted by what he found. Inside were organs belonging to over 100 different people.
Were they like in a jar or some organs from 100 different people he just had in boxes? Was he like eating them? Were they rotting? Like, why was he taking organs from people?
Brains, lungs, livers, and hearts were all found in formaldehyde. That would be a smell alone. When you open that store, you would have to smell it. Formaldehyde is strong.
But it should be sealed, right?
Yeah, but I would still think of, 100? I would assume that you'd be like, it smells weird.
There would be boxes. It's not one small card, but you would have a whole corner of boxes full of just random organs and jars.
Which maybe all storage units have like a funk, but formaldehyde, I feel like you can smell that shit.
Why? What makes, like, I understand he does, like, autopsy shit. He might be, like, just into that for some reason. But what makes you want to just take, like, the brain of a random person?
I feel like it would emanate a little bit of scent.
Like a collection?
Even worse, the organs were stored in...
Oh, my God. They were in, like, food Tupperware bins?
Basic Tupperware and double gulp cups from local gas stations.
That definitely has a smell then.
Like he took the fucking lungs of somebody and just dumped out a fucking big Diet Coke. Just put it right in the fucking cup.
I thought they were in jars.
That wouldn't even seal it.
Oh my God. No.
How do you even obtain formaldehyde? I mean, dude, he was an autopsy doctor. Like, he probably just had access to that.
Not even glass jars, plastic Tupperware, and big gulp cups, dude. Fucking big gulp cups. Police quickly tracked down Dr. Birkland, and all of the organs were removed. He was charged with keeping a public nuisance, improper storage of hazardous waste, and driving with a suspended license.
Just threw that on top.
Yeah, like, what's the charge there? Is it, like, stealing from a body? Because he's not killing people. No, it's not like Dexter. He's not killing people. They're dead. He's just taking their body parts. Like, you died, he's you know, doing a report on your body, and then he just takes your lungs.
We gotta make sure we get this motherfucker. 10 families were notified of their deceased loved ones being found in the locker. Michael never faced any jail time. How? Because he posted his $10,000 bond and walked away. Posted $10,000 bond, but was unable to afford the storage. I'm telling you. Every one of these
he just wanted to get rid of that shit.
Just a little suspicious, isn't it? To be fair, if he's putting the brains and organs in big gulp containers, I don't think he really gives a fuck that much. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. Threw it in there.
I want to know why he did it. Do you think it was just trophies?
Probably. If you're...
It was probably like weird oddities of things from people that died that he wanted. And then it became like kind of like a habit. You know, maybe a superstition. Like when he's on the job, he has to take like a fucking trophy or something bad will happen.
Doing the autopsy stuff, you have to have a fascination with the human body in some way where you're maybe they're probably like prize organs. That's the most beautiful liver I've ever seen.
How do you take the brain out of a person without them noticing? That's what I don't understand. If you're an autopsy doctor, how the fuck are you drilling into somebody's skull, taking their brain out, putting it back without anybody noticing? Like, because wouldn't the person at the morgue be like, yo, this guy's head is fucked up?
I thought he was going to do something much more diabolical.
I thought he was fucking dead bodies.
I didn't think he was fucking dead bodies. I feel like it might have been like an organ harvesting business, you know? Guy's dead. You kind of just, take the lungs out. Give them to a black market dealer.
But Dr. Brooklyn wasn't the only one misusing a storage unit. While his story may have been the most grotesque, others have turned the spaces into makeshift homes. The price of rent has become nearly unaffordable across the United States, causing people to look for cheaper places to live. Besides,
is it illegal to stay in a storage unit? It's probably not allowed to sleep in it.
Being outright homeless, many have chosen to move into storage units. Certain storage facilities offer climate.
That actually looks sick. I would sleep there. Got a whole ass living room, bed. Got a bit of a kitchen going on.
Facilities offer climate-controlled units, plug-ins, and public bathrooms, covering all the basic essentials one would need in basically an apartment. With the average size of a container being 10 feet by 10 feet, that is more than enough room to fit a single bed and a small kitchen. Plus, storage facilities cover the cost of the utility, so really saving some money. Granted, you're in a rat cage, but still, out of the rain. So long as you can afford the cheap monthly payment, you can live well within your means.
Yeah, oh, you got to keep quiet during business hours? What, because you're just... What would they do, though? Just kick you out?
Well, within your means. And one woman chose to move into a storage locker after her rent was raised from $850 to $1,300 because the building had to be rebuilt after a tornado leveled it. Which I want to say, that's unfair. That's a huge jump, too. My God. $800 to $1,300? Holy fuck.
That was just an excuse to raise rent.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we had to do a new one. I have to do it. It's like, fuck you, dude. Yeah, right. In 2021, Mayfield, Kentucky was hit by a massive tornado that left most of the town in ruin. Angie paid her rent by driving for Uber Eats, Grubhub, and Lyft, and was barely making her rent. But after the tornado destroyed her building, it was sold to new owners who raised the rent to $1,300 a month to help pay for the renovations. Tired of living in a one-bedroom apartment with a collapsed roof, she decided enough was enough and packed up all of her things and lived in her car. Since her car was crammed with stuff, she couldn't do ride sharing anymore, so she decided to rent a storage unit. At the time, she also began dumpster diving for Nike.
I don't know. I get the liability. The most dangerous storage unit finds.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming and sitting down because today we're looking into the odd and disgusting world of storage units. Is stuff starting to pile up in your house? Are you running out of room? Are friends and family starting to make weird comments about your life choices? Fear not, friend.
Just throw it all in the storage unit. That's why you knew, bro. Storage hunters. You remember those shows? Storage Wars, American Pickers. All of those were like fake ass shows. I'm so sure of it. Maybe the storage units were real, but dime a dozen. Like not like it's one in a needle in a haystack. You're getting a good storage unit. Most storage auctions are selling like, you got to think, bro, like what is the average people are putting in storage units? Holiday decorations, mattresses, family memorabilia, and like trash, almost. Basically trash. Stuff that's meaningful to an individual, but worth nothing. So whenever I saw those fucking videos where it'd be like, yep, just bought this storage unit for $1,400. Oh my God, look, he has antique rifles in perfect condition that are worth $140,000. Who the puts that in a storage unit? Why would you have that? Oh, he has a katana collection. What? What are you are you going through like the coolest people ever? What do you mean? If that's the stuff they're putting into storage, I want to know what they actually own. Like, are you going through like Jeff Bezos's abandoned storage unit where he has like a block of gold just sitting in the corner? Like, who the fuck has that? No one has that shit. Some cool ass stuff. Yeah, that, and then they just never find anything that's, dude, there was one show or like one episode where they actually went through shit. And I was like, wow, this is interesting. Because it was all trash. It was just garbage.
There is a simple solution that may only cost you roughly $20 a month, allowing you to relocate your hoard of filth elsewhere. So first off, love Storage Wars. Fake TV show. Love it. Love Storage Wars. But then I've been seeing all kinds.
Yo, I feel like these guys, wait, go back to store. I used to watch Storage Wars every day. This guy, these two, terrible couple. I wonder if they're still, I think it was for the show. Obviously, I think it was staged, but they would always bicker. They hated each other. I never understood how they weren't divorced. I'm going to say that right now. I'm not trying to like judge the relationship or anything, but like on the show, they would just fucking scream at each other. It'd be like, all right, don't bid on that, honey. And he'd be like, yep, another, yep, okay, yep, we're buying that one. After his wife literally told him not to get it. Just like direct oppositions. This is the favorite character though. Favorite character right here. The old guy, don't remember his name. This guy was a douchebag, Dave. I always wanted Dave to get upbid on something and then fucking make no money. And I hated the show too because it was like, not only was the shit they were getting like fake, it was like they just knew the price of shit off the top of their head. Like Dave would walk in, he'd be like, broken Turtle Beach headset, $20. Candle warmer, $15. Oh, ladder, $183. And you throw it to the side. I'm like, yo, you have to sell that to someone. Like, not only are you buying the storage unit, like, who are you? And then one day they showed Dave's actual shop, and it was just full of shit. It was like shelves, like floor to ceiling, of just like random technology parts and stuff he got at a storage unit. I'm like, who's coming to this store? I just go to Best Buy if I'm looking for a fucking iPhone charger. I'm not going to go to Dave Hester's auction site and go buy a fucking used Amazon cord that he got from a dead guy that didn't pay off his fucking storage unit.
TV show, love it. Love Storage Wars. But then I've been seeing all kinds of videos online of verticals of people like, they find tons of money. It's all fake.
Get the fuck out of here! If I found that, I'd think that there's a drug dealer that used to own that shit. You found a wad of 10 grand?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I bet you there are storage units where people find some crazy shit. But I want to know, what's real?
Nah, surely. Drugs. That's what you're finding, bro. I could see a world where, like, a storage unit gets foreclosed on, you buy it, and there's just, like, 5 kilos of cocaine that you find. Like, or a grenade. Bomb. Unregistered weapons. That's probably really common. Finding guns. Like, weapons, knives, stuff like that. But not of value. It's just, like, okay, this is like doesn't even have like the serial numbers fucking scratched off.
Crazy shit someone's found. I want some disgusting, depraved stuff, and that's what we're going to dive into today. All right, storage units are a great solution for those with too many possessions. The services range from small rooms to large garages, and these labyrinths are found worldwide and hold all sorts of strange items. However, these large steel buildings are not as safe as you may think. From burglaries to insane tenants and even murder, storage facilities are the Wild West of urban cities with chaos hiding behind.
Yeah, dude, there actually probably are people that sleep in storage units.
Behind every turn. So, grab your padlocks and steel boots as we get ready to lift the door on the strange ongoings of storage units. I lived in a storage unit for 2 months.
What's the weirdest thing? Bodies. There was probably somebody that bought a storage unit and there was like a human head. Something like remains of an animal, dead stuff, rotting shit. Like, what else is like disturbing or dangerous? Bombs, acid, just fucking weird murder, sex dungeon shit. Yeah.
If you've ever watched shows like Storage Wars, which was one of the most popular shows of the 2010s, it goes without saying that there are all sorts of crazy things to be discovered in storage units. Storage Wars followed a competitive group of...
Yeah, and bro, they would always be in some fuck-ass town. They were never in, like, Miami, dude. They'd be in, like, rural Nebraska. Yeah, today we got a good find here. We got a few units we're going to be putting up for bid. A few units we're putting up for bid in Nebraska. What do they have?
Buyers traveling from auction to auction, trying to see who could make the most money with the units they purchased, right? $500, sold to the guy for $500. Now I need to make $500 plus more money for profit. That's the show. That's every episode. And there's some bickering here and there. It's trash television. It's also all completely fake. It doesn't matter. Still.
Bro, really? Now that upsets me. I wanted at least part of it. I knew it was fake, but like, you kind of want part of it to be real. It's like when you're a kid and you find out the WWE is staged. And you defend it for a while, you're like, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Randy Orton actually fucks people up. And then you do know it's fake, but you kind of believe it. That's where I was with Storage Wars. Where it's like, yeah, no, I know it's fake, but it's like, dude, they're still throwing haymakers on each other. Like, they're getting hurt. They're getting hurt. Former Storage Wars star files lawsuit claiming show is fake. What lawsuit is he filing? Because he was a part of the show. Like, I don't understand.
Over the years, some of the people on the show have found insane things like rare art collections and priceless vehicles. And although this might look impressive, they pale in comparison to some of the stuff we are going to see.
Yeah, he would always find some crazy shit. He'd be like, this is worth a ton. Look at this. Pulls out a picture of a German Shepherd. Guess who painted this? His son's like, who? The Adolf Hitler. It's an original. Really? a random storage unit in fucking Tennessee had a painting from Adolf Hitler.
And although this might look impressive, they pale in comparison to some of the stuff we are going to talk about today. Starting in 2018, a man who bought a unit for $500 and was so excited about what he found that he approached Storage Wars auctioneers Dan Dotson to spread the word. Inside the unit was a lock safe and took multiple attempts and 2 different locksmiths before the code was finally cracked. When they opened the safe, they were greeted with $7.5 million in cold, hard cash. I'd come. I'm not even joking. I would be leaking. I'd be oozing the honey. The maple is going down the tree. You know what I mean? It would be a beehive in my pants, is what I'm saying. Sticky. News of the discovery made it back to the original owners of the unit. Realizing their money had just been sold for less than 1% of its worth, they contacted the buyer with a lawyer offering $600,000 for the unit and the money. No. After intense back and forth, both parties settled on a reward of $1.2 million, and the owner received their money back in full. He still got $1 million out of it, but I would have been like, I'm not fucking giving you shit. That's also
okay. Well, what dumbass would also not pay their storage? See, this is what I'm saying. You have $7.5 million of cash in a storage unit. You had to have robbed a bank. Like you robbed the New York City Central Bank and fucking stole $7 million in cash, because a regular bank has like 10 grand on hand at a time, maybe 50 tops. Like, what the fuck? Like, how are you not paying the $100 a month for the storage unit?
You lie and say, I found $3 million in a deal. I'm not gonna tell people about the other $4.5 million. Come on.
So wait, also, is this the
I'm cutting the fucking cameras. I'm telling the show to fuck off. What? If I'm Dave from Storage Wars and I find $7.5 million in a safe, I'm giving the producers $3 million and I'm going, fuck off.
Many believe that the cash was unmarked and was being held in a locker to avoid the law. Storage lockers are typically used for non-perishable items, and while some are climate controlled, it's never a good idea to store food inside. During a routine lock check, a manager began to smell a funky, sweet smell emanating from a nearby locker. When they opened the door, they found 4 large 55-gallon drums. They slowly opened the—
I'm immediately assuming there's a dead body in there. 4 55-gallon drums. 55-gallon drums of lube. Doubt it's lube.
The barrels and found that inside the unit was over 200 gallons of maple syrup.
That's not that bad. Maple syrup. Why do they have that? What a fucking shock that would be. You buy the unit, there's just fucking literally hundreds of dollars of maple syrup. It's authentic. It's from Vermont.
Relieved that it wasn't anything serious, they contacted—
Yeah, did they ever plan on using it? Do they like show up to the storage unit once in a while and like fill up their syrup bottles?
The owner and asked why they were storing so much liquid inside the facility. The owner said nothing. The manager didn't remember.
Pleads the fifth. Okay, that would sketch me the fuck out. Hey man, just wondering why you have like 5 fucking 55 year.
Amassing an estimated 100,000 followers that were convinced that the world was nearing its end. They were strong in their beliefs despite being ridiculed and harassed by their peers. Which, dude, for those 3 decades, you must have been living so tall. Keep it counting, boys. Oh, you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Uh-huh. Yeah.
This is like a common theme with all of these. They get it wrong. They're like, no, wait, it's the other date.
Yeah, it'll always be like a month later. What was that one religious guy? He was like decrepit, dude. He looked like a raisin. He was like 95. And he kept predicting the wrong date. And he was like, oh, I actually did my math wrong. I forgot this one passage about 73 fishes. I have to add that onto the top. And then you actually have to add like another 10 years just like to make sure. So it's like, honestly, it'll probably be like around here, not this date. It's going to be another like month or 2 after. Harold Camping. Yeah, he would randomly start adding numbers just out of like, he would be like, well, this passage has the number 83 in it.
Because you're delusional. Because they believe it, and then they're like, oh, it was probably a mix-up. You put your whole belief system in that. It's really quite sad, Nick. During one event, William was egged by an audience member during one of his speeches, and I bet that insanely
he was egged by like a 15-year-old.
Him over the edge. In the span of just a few years, people prepared for this event by selling most of their belongings and turning their—
Oh wait, no, this is— oh my god, no, he was egged in the 1800s. This is just a video of a guy getting egged by a 15-year-old.
By an audience member during one of his speeches.
What the hell am I thinking?
And I bet that sent him over the edge. In the span of just a few years, people prepared for this event by selling most of their belongings and turning their backs on their responsibilities. By March 21st,
Why are they selling shit, though? Like, what is the point of selling shit? You have to have a shred of doubt if you're selling it. Like, just give it away.
1844, nothing had happened. The date would be moved to April 18th, only for it to fail once more. The last date proposed by William was October 22nd. On the day of, tons of people still believed in William. They put on their white ascension robes and climbed to the highest places available to them to await the second coming. Not only did this prove to be fruitless, but it led to a period known as the Great Disappointment, where people wept endlessly over their hopes being shattered alongside a...
I need someone to help me up to my chamber as my natural strength was leaving me very fast, and I lay prostrate for 2 days without any pain, sick with disappointment.
Wave of mockery from people asking, why haven't you ascended yet? First off, as soon as if William came in, if William the dog came in, trying to eat his own face and handing out white robes, I'd be like, you gotta get out of this motherfucker.
Why? Robes are fancy.
Robes are cool, but if it's in religious context, robes are not cool. Yeah, we're just gonna put on these robes and go to the mountain. I'd be like, might have picked the wrong batch, is what I'd say.
You're like full leaning into it, and they're like, all right, guys, let's get in our robes. Ew. Nobody told me about this part.
If you, what about jackets? Like sick, like club jackets.
If they were club jackets, or even just a nice suit, you want to get dolled up to go to heaven? Why not? Robes, really? William Miller's popularity dwindled significantly, but he held firm to the belief that the second coming was approaching until he died in 1849. Maybe that's what he was. Maybe he was predicting his own death. Might have been. I don't know. The more that we learn about space, the more terrifying the unknown becomes, right? Very Lovecraftian. Since we've started studying the stars, one of the biggest threats to our planet has been stray asteroids that could potentially hit Earth, which actually me up sometimes. Can't even think about it. There was one that they said, like, one asteroid's gonna pass by Earth.
Yeah, there's one that's passing by, and if it's like a very small chance. I think it's like 0.00 something. But if it passes by, that means the next orbit it has, it'll directly hit Earth. And everybody's like, that shit's so low of a chance. That ain't that. But most people take those odds gambling. Most people play the lottery and put money into something that has way less odds of happening. But when it's like, hey, there's like a 0.00001% chance that this asteroid threads a keyhole and then kills us in 30 years, nobody's worried. Do you think if we had a 30-year chance, though, like if we had a 30-year time frame, I feel like humans could destroy the asteroid. That would be the whole goal. If that asteroid threads the keyhole, society from then on for the next, 27 years or however long that shit is, it's 2.7%. That's really high. Wait, what? It's 2.7% chance? The asteroid Apophis is not expected to hit Earth, even though it will pass through a keyhole in 2029 that could have led to a collision in 2036. Thanks to further observations, scientists ruled both the 2029 and 2036 impact out, and Apophis will not pose a collision threat for the next 100 years. We're good, chat. We'll all be dead. Anyways, if an asteroid was going to hit Earth, say right now we knew, 30 years, an asteroid's hitting Earth. Do you think that we as humanity would be able to stop it? I think it depends how big the asteroid is. I'm pretty confident China, Russia, US all make buddies for a little bit, and we just start nuking the piss out of that fucking asteroid. We just start sending every fucking thing we have in the arsenal just right at that motherfucker. Yeah, just start blowing it up. Start redirecting it into... I don't think we would try and blow it up. I think we would try to change its orbit in some way where it passed.
Earth, and they're like, but when it passes by in 30 years, it's supposed to come back and hit us? I think they disproved it.
Here's my thing. If an asteroid's coming, don't tell me.
I would rather just not know. What benefit do you gain of being like, hey guys, seriously?
I'd want to know. because I'd stopped doing everyday bullshit before. What the fuck? If you were like, an asteroid's going to hit in 10 years, I'm not going to start thinking about shit for when I'm 50. I'd be like, all right, well, I'm going to be dead in 10 years, so I'll just go fucking do other shit. Like, you would change your game plan if you knew.
Oh, in movies and shit. In movies, they do that to build conflict for the movie. But what would happen is, like, Elon and all those guys, they'd be like, I don't know, I'm just going to try this spaceship out. And they'd leave and never come back. As soon as that starts happening, well, Mark Zuckerberg's building like a, didn't he built like a giant bunker in Hawaii.
Yeah, like $100 million bunker. It's like 10 floors, 30 floors or some shit.
He said, well, it's not a doomsday bunker. It's just
and that's funny too. They're like, so what's up with the doomsday bunker? He's like, it's not really a doomsday bunker. It's just you could live there for 700 years if you wanted to. It's a man cave. It's like more of a man cave. And you're like, huh? Anyways, in 1910, many believed a nearby comet would end humanity. Halley's Comet, remember that one? Is visible from Earth every 72 to 80 years and has been spotted by humans dating back since
72 to 80 years. It was last visible in 1986. 2061. All right, that's a goal for me to live that long. I'll be 59.
40 BC.
That's the Fortnite meteor. You see Halley's Comet and Kevin the Cube's on it, you're like, everybody forgets about Fortnite. It's 2061. It's Kevin.
Which is crazy. Go somewhere else. Hello. Scientists had predicted that 1910 would be the next time it passes Earth and observed the comet flying by using a spectrograph. This new technology allowed astronomers to view the chemical composition of the comet, and to their horror, they discovered its tail that was made of cyanogen gas, which is extremely toxic. Oh, shit. After publishing the report, a French reporter put out an article discussing their findings, but also included a line saying the gas from the comet could, quote, impregnate the atmosphere and possibly snuff out all life on the planet. Bit of creative liberty in the title there, buddy. People began to freak out over the headline, believing that their death was imminent. Before the comet could pass, companies began to sell comet pills, which claimed to fight off the effects of the toxic gas. Insurance companies offered...
Oh, that's so awesome. That's so fucking awesome, dude. Literally just a scam product that people fell for. These comet pills are novelty only. They have no therapeutic value.
Comet pills, which claim to fight off the effects of the toxic gas.
Dr. Haley's Comet Fever, a once-in-a-lifetime confection.
Insurance companies offered policies of people's belongings in case they were destroyed. Farmers around the globe refused...
Oh, well, they just knew. The insurance companies knew that shit was going to do anything. They were just fucking scalping money off people.
...to plant crops, believing that there was no point since everyone would be dead. No more corn. I'm done with corn. Others locked themselves inside their homes.
Why Otto Warmbier didn't survive North Korea. For the people that don't know Otto Warmbier, he is the guy that took the poster off a hotel wall in North Korea. They set him back in a vegetative state, and he died.
This is Otto Warmbier. He's a 21-year-old American college student.
My crime is very severe and pre-planned.
No, it was not severe. And I also don't know really if it was pre-planned. I think North Korea's government that killed this guy and effectively tortured him is full of psychopath narcissists that don't understand that somebody taking a poster off your wall really isn't that big a deal. You probably could have charged him for it. I think any other hotel would maybe get him for like vandalism, and it would be like a petty crime, petty theft, but not to the point where he has to be on a big news station and he's pleading for his life.
Travel agency. The destination was Pyongyang, the capital of North Korea.
On the early morning of January 1st, 2016, I committed my crime aimed at harming the work ethic and the motivation of the Korean people.
Are we serious? Are we serious? Yo, they wrote that out for him to say. There's no way. I aimed at harming the North Korean people's work ethic. He took a poster off a wall, bruh. You're acting like he took a on Kim Jong-un's statue.
After a night of partying, he allegedly took a poster from the hallway of his hotel. Shortly after, he was detained for perpetrating a hostile act against the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
I understand the severity of my crime.
Now he's here, trying to save his life, at the mercy of a totalitarian dictatorship.
I have been very impressed by the Korean government's humanitarian treatment of severe criminals like myself. And if
Are we dead ass? Dude, when he got off the plane, that motherfucker got wheeled out. They put him in like a coma borderline. Are we serious? I respect how nice they've been treating me. When he got back, he died.
they're very fair and square legal procedures in the DPR Korea.
A communist regime that nurtures a deep hate for America.
The United States administration already knows about my act through the CIA. And
yo, I actually always used to say that I would go to North Korea if they let Americans go there. I'm now changing my mind because I know they would kill my ass. I have talked so much shit about Kim Jong-un and North Korea in general, like so much shit. I couldn't pull up and be like, hello, I love your country. There's no prisoner camps here. You're not killing your people. You're a great leader. Your people aren't malnourished. No. You invented the hamburger. Oh, wow. Oh, your father invented the hamburger. Sorry. Wow. Really? Yeah, you just came up with the idea.
Connived at my crime.
Soon, the case of this college kid will escalate the already tense relationship between two nuclear powers.
North Korea best not make any more threats to the...
And I also, bro, I gotta say, it's not, there's no feeling bad for Kim Jong-un, but like, Kim Jong-un is definitively a product of the environment he grew up in. Like, Kim Jong-un would be a regular guy if he had not grown up with his father being a psycho dictator that spoiled him and like ensured that he would be the leader of his nation. Like, his son, Kim Jong-un wasn't even supposed to be the leader of North Korea. His older brother was supposed to. But his father called him a pussy and said that he couldn't lead because Kim Jong-un was better and like capable of doing that shit because his older brother was too into music and was too womanly or something. Like, Kim Jong-un was literally manipulated from the second he was a child to be the leader of North Korea.
United States, they will be met with fire and fury.
Otto Warmbier, at this point, has no idea what he is about to face.
An American is being held captive in North Korea. He was sentenced to 21 years of hard labor.
Those prisons are rough places. If something very bad happened to them.
Americans' fateful trip to North Korea.
Complete failure to recognize fundamental human rights.
And I mean, dude, you're not even thinking like, not only is he in North Korean prison, he's in just foreign prison, which is already terrifying. Like, imagine you're a guy that only speaks English and you get imprisoned in China. You're in jail or prison, and no one speaks the same language as you. Like, maybe in China they would. In North Korea, no one speaks English because they hate English. They hate Western ideologies. So you're literally just like getting screamed at. You don't know what's going on.
Rights.
The dreams of a young man.
You're fucked.
Destroyed by dubious charges from a ruthless regime.
This very press conference might be his last chance to save his life.
I don't want to say, yeah, and I know that, like, they have him. Oh, my God. I feel like this is just one of those scenarios where it's like, and I'm not going to see, I know Trump was president when this was happening. And I think what he's doing right now, and he's like, we need to forcefully take over Greenland. Fucking crazy, right? Like, Denmark literally says we could use their military bases, and like, why is he saying that for his own personal gain? It's fucking weird, right? But like, this is one of those scenarios where I do wonder what would have happened if he was like, if Otto Warmbier comes back harmed, I will bomb North Korea. Like, if he just like flat out said that. Like, obviously, he never would over this kid because he's not like, I don't want to say it, but it's like the U.S. does hold value over important figures in foreign policy, especially with obtaining like either prisoners of war or, you know, people that are held captive in other countries. Like, if he was not just a random college student, it would be different.
Son in my family. My mother needs me. My father needs me. My younger brother and my younger sister need me. I entirely beg you, people and government of the DPR Korea.
I think he is emotional, but what sucks is he has to put like this begging plea when like he's not in the wrong. Like, he did a slap on the wrist thing and they kill him for it. He did something so minute. The counterpoint people are going to say is like, well, he was in North Korea, you should have known. But it's like, okay, bro.
For your forgiveness. Please. I have made the worst mistake of my life.
Otto Warmbier won't survive, and his case will bring
What'd he do? Took a poster off a wall.
The US and North Korea to the brink of war. But the version of events many people remember might not be true.
What? Can't start out the video.
Much
like
of
that,
our
Fern.
research is based on this extensive GQ article. Find the link in the description. New Year's Eve, 2015. This is Kim Il-sung Square in Pyongyang.
It's not 2015 in North Korea. It's not 2015. New Year's Eve, different year in North Korea.
Thousands of North Koreans have gathered to watch the fireworks and greet the new year. Among them is a group of tourists. These are people from Europe, Australia, and the US. They're here with a travel agency, and they booked a 5-day, 4-night New Year's party tour for $1,200. Otto Warmbier is one of them.
I mean, that's crazy, dude, how much the country's changed since then that you were able to book a New Year tour in North Korea.
New Year's party tour for $1,200. Otto Warmbier is one of them. Now, after the fireworks, they return to their hotel, a 47-story tower located on a small island in the Taedong River. It boasts 5 restaurants, a bar, a sauna, a massage parlor, even a bowling alley. One of the restaurants revolves. Because of its location, people call it the Alcatraz of fun. During the tour, they'll drink at a fancy bar and eat at fine restaurants. And, on top, they get the full propaganda tour. They've already visited the 70-foot bronze statues of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, the country's first 2 dictators. They're regarded as near holy figures. State propaganda has it that when Kim Jong-il was born at the site of a holy mountain, a double rainbow and a glowing new star appeared in the sky. Today, his birthday, the Day of the Shining Star, is a public holiday. Citizens spontaneously salute the massive statue.
Yeah, and they have his dead body in a fucking box. Or some shit. It's either him or his son. They have his dead body in a box that they, like, fucking visit. Or some shit. It's fucking weird.
Homage. Noticed the scar. But had Dr. Samarco?
Physically, as far as wounds, there were a few small scars that we documented. There was one that we really couldn't explain for medical instrumentation, which some of the other scars we could. But there wasn't anything on the external examination to indicate, other than that one scar that we couldn't explain, to indicate torture.
The Warmbiers opted against a complete autopsy, offering no reason for this decision. But Dr. Samarco did perform an external inspection. Later, in a lawsuit against North Korea, an expert witness cited the scar on Otto's foot as potential.
A lawsuit against North Korea. How's that working? Hey, Kim Jong-un, we're suing you. No, you're not. And then they just move on. Like, how do you sue North Korea?
Evidence that he was subjected to torture, possibly electric shock. But does this injury prove Otto was tortured? No. Then there are his teeth.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't even say the rearranged teeth. I would assume that if he had gotten tortured, they were like zapping his brain. Like that shit they were doing during World War II at that school. Or what? It wasn't a school. What was it called? With that doctor. Unit 731. Yeah, Unit 731 and Shiro Ishii. And they would, like, zap people's brains and shit. Like, they would just keep... it would be, like, electrocution torture, but it would be, like, to change your mind.
Fred Warmbier said it looked as though Otto's bottom teeth had been rearranged. Dr. Samarco couldn't confirm this.
We also consulted our forensic dentist, Dr. Wright, and I had him take a look at the imaging, specifically dealing with the lower teeth and mandible. He agreed with us that there is no evidence of trauma to the lower teeth or mandible.
In the lawsuit, this finding was disputed. Two of Otto's private dentists testified that his post-mortem dental x-rays, when compared to previous x-rays, indicated that some of his lower teeth had been bent backward, movement consistent with an impact injury. The New York Times had reported that Otto had been repeatedly beaten. That's not impossible. An ex-North Korean spy who was familiar with, though not directly involved in Otto's case, said he'd heard Otto was roughed up by prison guards.
그분이 감옥에 있으면서 간수들이 있잖아요. 간수들이 많이 때렸대요. 왜 때렸냐면 언어가 안 되잖아요.
He also continues to say that there might have been waterboarding. To him, that's standard practice, what he'd call
Yeah, non-physical, like not... It's physical torture, but not something that would show up in, like, wounds.
battery, rather than torture. It's difficult to say whether this ex-spy is credible, though. And even if Otto's teeth were bent backward, it's impossible to know for certain what caused that. Finally, the biggest injury of all, his brain injury.
The most important diagnostic test thus far was a magnetic resonance imaging scan of the brain. This study showed extensive loss of brain tissue in all regions of the brain.
In other words, the damage is universal, and scans show it occurred all at once. There's a technical term for this, an anoxic encephalopathy. It means an injury caused by a lack of oxygen to the brain. So either blood ceased to flow to Otto's brain, which would result in a lack of oxygen, or Otto stopped breathing.
This pattern of brain injury, however, is usually seen as a result of cardiopulmonary arrest, where the blood supply to the brain is inadequate for a period of time, resulting in the death of brain.
Oh my God, are they saying that he took his own life when he was in prison?
In tissue.
In general terms, one of the more likely causes of a cardiopulmonary arrest in a young person would have been a respiratory arrest.
In all likelihood, Otto stopped breathing. Any number of events could have caused this. An allergic reaction, choking, near drowning, anything that might prevent oxygen from reaching his brain. But which of these events was the cause? There's no way to know.
I hate that.
We have no certain or verifiable knowledge of the cause.
How could he have done that? Asphyxiation?
Or circumstances of his neurological injury.
A cause that could almost certainly be ruled out was repeated beatings. Repeated beatings to the head would have caused asymmetrical damage, with some regions being affected more than others. Also, scans revealed no fractures of the skull. Despite all this uncertainty, the Warmbiers insist on torture. And the question of whether Otto was tortured or not is not a medical side note. By now, it has the potential to escalate a simmering conflict between two nuclear powers. A year and a half before, mere days after Otto's detention, North Korea had carried out its fourth nuclear test, in defiance of international sanctions. It also launched a long-range missile. In September 2016, it performed another nuclear test. By 2017...
Bro, I just don't understand how, like, Russia and China don't also want to just step in and stop them. Because they're their own powers that, you know, obviously are semi-allied. But, like, they have to witness Kim Jong-un and go, this is fucking crazy. You know, like, Russia does its own shit. And, you know, right now they're in war with Ukraine and it's horrible. But they're getting, like North Koreans are allies and aiding them in this. So I'm like, it just has to be like they're turning a blind eye. Like, there's no way they're like, yo, you gotta stop. Like, that's because that's worrisome for them as well, no? I feel like Kim Jong-un's, like, not sane in the way that, like, Xi Jinping is. in like how he's gonna hold certain like conflicts, you know? Like you don't want, like, I think it's more scary if Kim Jong-un gets nuclear power than Xi Jinping, you know? Like, but I mean, obviously Xi Jinping does have nuclear capabilities, but I'm saying like that's less scary for the world, you know? Like even on either side, you're seeing this. You're like, maybe we shouldn't give this dictator nuclear power. Not give it to him, but allow him to have that.
The year of Otto's return, the confrontation between the U.S. and North Korea was near the
Who's Xi Jinping, leader of China?
boiling point.
North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen.
It was the beginning of the 2017-2018 North Korea crisis. Meanwhile, Otto Warmbier's case took on an increased political weight. Trump had adopted the torture hypothesis as fact.
Trump need to press that red button. Terrible idea. You nuke North Korea, they're going to fucking nuke everybody else before they die. It's the same shit, dude. It's just mutually assured destruction. That's why nuclear war is like the max out for countries. It's just, it enables you to have like an ultimate last defense of like, okay, even if you wipe my country off the map, we'll still kill you.
Senator John McCain said Otto had been tortured and murdered. Senators Adam Schiff and Marco Rubio also used the word murder. Fred Warmbier's analysis was that his son served as a sort of human shield.
North Korea doesn't do anything by mistake. It was their fourth nuclear weapons test, and they had a lot of things they wanted to cover, and they felt like Otto was going to provide them the security they needed to get away with these things.
Oh my God, to frame Otto to say that, oh, we need to escalate our military power because the Z Society and the Methodist Church and the CIA are all three conspiring against against North Korea, that we have to scale our military power.
Then, in 2018, Michael Flukinger, the doctor that helped bring Otto back to the US, revealed a new piece of information to GQ. The staff at the North Korean hospital where Otto stayed told Flukinger that they received him the day after his trial, and he was already unresponsive.
What? So he was in like a coma for a year?
They had to resuscitate him, then give him oxygen and put him on a ventilator, or he would die, Flukinger told GQ. Also, there's a brain scan dated April 2016.
We received copies of brain MRI images from the medical personnel in North Korea. The earliest images...
So how did he eat pork and spinach? BN, that was already disproven, bro. He did not have botulism. That was a lie that North Korean officials said to the United States to say that they didn't torture him.
Are dated April 2016. Based upon our analysis of those images, the brain injury likely occurred in the preceding weeks.
Of course, the North Korean story might be a lie. It might not be true that he was hospitalized the morning after his trial, but there is strong medical evidence that he sustained his brain injury in the days or weeks after March 16. In any case, Otto Warmbier...
Why the fuck did they not return him then? You know what I mean? Like, if they did that to him right then, why did they not... Like, why did they keep him? Like, that doesn't make sense.
But it's very unlikely that he was actually sent to one of the notoriously horrific North Korean labor camps. American detainees are treated differently. According to GQ, Otto Warmbier most likely stayed in a used guest house in downtown Pyongyang during his detention. The hard labor he was sentenced to would likely have been planting soybeans and making bricks. Grueling, backbreaking work, but nothing compared to coal mining, which is typical for North Koreans. North Korea needed him as a bargaining chip, and bargaining chips don't...
Oh my God, so maybe they didn't actually put him in that state. They just needed him as like a trade? Like, as fucked as it sounds, like a trade token. Like, it's something they could fall back on.
Have much value if they aren't in good condition. And in a sense, he was.
We believe that for somebody who's been bedridden for more than a year, that his body was in excellent condition, his skin was in excellent condition, and we didn't see any evidence of decubiti or bed sores.
In its article, GQ proposes a different theory than torture. During the 2 months between his detention and his confession, Otto was likely subjected to relentless interrogation for as long as 15 hours per day. The only respite from the interrogation would have been North Korean propaganda films. Previous prisoners were told their government had forgotten them. Some fell into debilitating depressions, even attempting suicide. At trial, so hours, weeks, or days before he supposedly fell into a coma, he was visibly desperate.
Please think of my family. I'm the oldest son in my family.
GQ speculates that in the hopeless hours after his sentencing, Otto may have attempted to take his own life. A lack of oxygen to his brain could have caused his injury. Of course, this theory is just one of many. An allergic reaction to a sleeping pill, an excessive administration of drugs, a suicide attempt, a heart attack, a form of torture that left no obvious lasting marks. It could have been any of these things. Without Otto here to tell the tale, we may never know the truth.
I mean, like, couldn't he, I'm just saying, I don't know if this happened. Couldn't he have tried to hang himself, like, 3 days after? Cut oxygen to his brain, didn't die. They save him, but now he's perpetually in this state, and the wounds that would be on his neck would have healed by the time he was sent back. He wouldn't have neck scars because he wouldn't have any laceration that would have been there would have been healed by the time they returned him.
In May 2018, something weird happened. Trump tweeted that he was going to meet Kim Jong-un in person, and everything changed.
Getting a good
I'm instantly asking that motherfucker what the hell they did to Otto.
picture, everybody, so we look nice and handsome and thin.
After the Singapore summit, Otto's name all but disappeared from Trump's lips, replaced by the name of Kim Jong-un.
And then we fell in love, okay? No, really. He wrote me beautiful letters, and they're great letters. We fell in love.
The previous year, Trump tweeted that he tried so hard to be Kim's friend and referred to their relationship as
It's a very special relationship.
In 2019, when asked whether he thought Kim knew about Otto's case, his reply was startling.
I don't believe he knew about it.
The Warmbiers were outraged.
Get the fuck out of here.
Trump had helped them bring Otto home and relisted Kim Jong-un's country as a state sponsor of terrorism. Now he seemed to admire him.
Well, he is very talented. Anybody that takes over a situation like he did at 26 years of age and is able to run it and run it tough. Very few people at that age, you can take 1 out of 10,000 probably couldn't do it.
Otto Warmbier was many things.
1 out of 10,000. Historically, the average person in power was younger than him. Bro, like why are we glazing Kim Jong-un for being able to take over a dictatorship that was fucking handed to him? Like,
an all-American boy, an unlucky tourist, a loving son. But on the international...
Kim Jong-un was notably a bad student. Like, that was said of, like, he didn't do his homework, didn't show up on time. He was lazy. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? We're just glazing Kim Jong-un.
National stage, he was a pawn and a symbol. Pyongyang deployed Otto on the chessboard of politics, using him domestically as a mouthpiece to spread anti-American propaganda, and internationally as a bargaining chip, a hostage to be traded for the easing of sanctions or other U.S. concessions. For the Trump administration, Otto Warmbier was useful as a symbol, driving the narrative that he was tortured by a barbarous regime and possibly using his death as a means of psychologically preparing the American public for war, the threat of which Trump hoped would make Kim back down. Otto was sentenced to 15 years hard labor for an alleged crime that in most countries would be considered, at worst, vandalism, based on a sham trial. No matter what happened to him,
I think in most countries you wouldn't even get arrested. I think in most countries, you would probably get a small fine, or they would be like, you're just banned from coming back to the hotel.
That in itself is damning enough. And even if he likely never had to go to one of North Korea's prison camps, they are hell on earth. Uncertainty about his cause of death.
What'd he do? Take a poster. And it might have not even been him. Everybody that was with him said that he wasn't even at the hotel at the hour that they said that he did it. And you can't see a face. You only see the figure of a man. And there's a lot of men in the world. So, like, that shit just pisses me off. I fucking rip Otto in the chat because that was fucking horrible. Like, wow. Failed end of the world predictions. Papa Meat.
I don't want to set the world.
The recent one on TikTok. What do you think those people are doing now? If you don't know about that, there was a lot of people on TikTok recently that were selling their homes and cars and giving away all their items, putting their kids up for adoption. Not a lot. It was probably like 100 people. But there were people that definitively tried to get like rid of all their goods for the rapture because they believed that the world was ending and the devil or demons were going to take over Earth and they were going to be sucked into heaven. And there were like rapture tip videos on how you should stand outside so you don't get stuck on your ceiling, which I thought was kind of stupid because if you were getting raptured, you would think that God would just be able to morph you through the wall. But a lot of people were seemingly worried that there would be something blocking their headspace and they would be kind of stuck to the ceiling like you're in one of those UFO carnival rides. And God would be trying to rapture you, but he would give up because your drywall was blocking you.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Coming in and sitting down because today we're going to
roofs are rapture proof.
Talk about end of the world predictions. Throughout time, there has always been the prevalent belief that we are living in the end times, right? We are always living in the end times, whether it's natural disasters, nationwide pandemics, or something based on religious scripture. It's always a looming fear that hangs upon many people's heads. People have predicted when the world will.
I do kind of wish. Whoa. I do kind of wish that. Sorry, that I lost my train of thought there. There was a lot of. Okay. Anyways, I kind of wish that I was around. Well, I was around, but not 10. I was 10 years old during the 2012 apocalypse. Anybody remember that? Like, I didn't hear about that shit until way later. I kind of wish that I was able to experience in my current conscious form the mass hysteria that was the 2012 apocalypse, where a lot of people full believed that the world was going to end in 2012.
Meet its end, even as far back as the first millennium. These predictions often resulted in a mass hysteria, with believers going to great lengths to prepare themselves physically and emotionally for their fine.
I love Doomsday Preppers, though. That show's awesome. My favorite part is the first 5-second intro. My name's Dale, and I'm getting ready for a fucking sun flare. There's a lot of realistic ones like that. And then it'll be like, my name's... I don't know why I'm always doing like a brutish Southern male, but my name's John, and I'm getting ready for the zombie apocalypse. Okay, pal. He himself is also working on the rabies offshoot that he wants to unleash to the public because he wants the zombie apocalypse to happen a little too much.
Day. The most recent iteration of this endlessly recurring phenomenon can be found on TikTok, taking shape in a specific community known as Christian talk.
A very small subsection of Christian talk, though. Like the majority of it was like 99.9% of Christians on Christian talk were like, guys, the rapture's not happening tomorrow. Guys, Guys, this is a little unreal.
The only God, the white Christian God. Jesus, blonde hair, blonde mullet, blue eyes, flip-flops, and a Dale Earnhardt tattoo. The Intimidator. Recently, there has been a ton of Christians on TikTok freaking out about the rapture that was set to take place on September 23rd and 24th. That was rapture talk grew as...
Bro, what I hate about this is, say at some point, it's in our lives, we have like, what was that movie with the meteor with Leonardo DiCaprio? And the meteor was going to hit Earth, and like nobody believed it initially. It will straight up be Don't Look Up. If we have a Don't Look Up scenario where like a meteor is hauling towards Earth and we're all going to die, I will be so viscerally upset. Number one, that Earth's going to explode. But more so, the amount of people that would be like, this is it. This is the sitting there acting like they got that shit right. Like every time there's some drama shit, bro, somebody being like, yeah, I could have predicted this from the start. I've been saying this the whole time. Yeah, there would be a few dickheads that would be like, I actually knew the meteor was going to hit. This was God's plan for me all along. He told me when I was 12. Okay.
The movement spread and became more popular. Thousands of people were posting about how they fully believed.
Oh no, get ready, the king is coming. So excited. 9/23/24. Also, aren't you not supposed to know if you're going to heaven or hell? Like, isn't that saying if you're like, yeah, I'm getting raptured? Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting raptured. You're not. Get ready, because this is going to be really exciting. Like, that's kind of like narcissistic that you're outwardly saying that you're definitively getting raptured because you're such a good boy. Like, yes, you believe in God, but even accepting Jesus as your Lord and Savior, you should always be like on edge. Based on how I've learned about Christianity my entire life, is that like nobody's ever 100% safe. Unless you're literally declared a saint in the Catholic Church long after you die.
That the end times were coming. Some were overjoyed, while others were stricken with intense grief. Oh God, we're gonna die. It's a bummer. This all began when South African pastor Joshua Mikela claimed to have...
Wrong? Really? How? How are you... You're supposed to know definitively that you're going to heaven? There should always be some level of unease. No? Correct me if I'm wrong, genuinely.
A vision of Jesus telling him of his return to earth. According to Josh, he saw Jesus on a throne telling him, I am coming soon.
I am coming soon.
Jesus then told him dates of his arrival, which were 2 weeks out.
Bro doing a podcast with a bare brick in the motherfucking back, telling me that the rapture's coming on September.
From his vision. A clip of an interview with Josh talking about his vision blew up and started the whole craze. But no one could have predicted the mass hysteria that would follow. It was pretty shocking. Right out of the gate, people began to post videos of themselves preparing their houses for the people left behind.
If you're seeing this and you're still here, I'm so sorry that you didn't make it. At least you're here getting to do all the sins that you wanted to do. And
the guy that bought her car for $1 the day after the rapture when she comes back asking for it back. The guy that's actively in a fucking U-Haul moving into her house when she walks back to her house. Sorry.
Be naughty with your fellow sinners. I don't know. Maybe you can make the best out of it. But yeah, goodbye.
Bro, like, what are those people doing right now? Like, I want to know so bad. They're out. Do you think they just moved? Like, do you think they've moved past that? Have to have. But there's no way. Like, there's no way your entire being believes that the world's going to end, and then a month later, you're not in shambles. Like, I feel like you would be distraught for like a year if you fully felt that the world was definitively going to end.
Yeah, if anybody's here after the...
But they're like, it's not, honestly, it's not even like they've been misled. It's like a level of like mental instability, bro. Like that's, like it's not like, oh, you're just like hyper religious. No, it's like you're like falling for a podcast clip a fucking pastor saying that he saw a vision the world's gonna end.
Rapture, because my ass is going up. I got a jacuzzi back there. Feel free to use it, bozo. One woman stocked up on candles and Bibles, as well as leaving behind laminated note cards of script.
Why are you stocking up on Bibles? The world's ending. You're getting sucked into the sky in a blue beam of light. What the fuck?
Bibles.
Oh, is she handing these out to people? Jesus loves you. If this woman handed me a fucking Bible that said Jesus loved you, and then I didn't get raptured, and earth was set on blaze, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, what the fuck is this doing for me? I'm dead.
As well as leaving behind laminated note.
What did that say? It's not you?
As well as leaving behind laminated note.
It's not too late. I gotta read that.
And laminated.
It's not too late to take this Bible, find other believers. Be careful who you trust. Do not take the mark in hand or forehead. Huh?
Note cards of scripture.
Where did everybody go? Many people vanished because they believe in Jesus Christ, Son of God. And in something, take them to heaven. This is God to save those who trust him.
For the sinners who she believed would enter.
Oh my God, this
home.
is like so reminding me of when I left the gym one day and some dude shoved a fucking card in my door and I read it in my car and he was claiming to be Jesus Christ in the flesh. And he was asking for, like, help in his search to create his own new, like, subsect of... I've told you guys this story. This was, like, a year and a half ago. Maybe 2 years ago. I left the gym, and there was a dude that shoved, like, a pamphlet in my fucking car door. And I read it, and he literally was claiming to be the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. Like, he was... I wish I kept it. I threw it out, and it was, like... full-blown religious psychosis. It was the craziest thing I've ever read from, like, a random guy.
Probably fornicate with each other, because what else are they going to do with hell on earth?
It's true. No rules.
Did you get an autograph? No, I didn't see the dude. It was just in my door.
Like Jesus said, I am going to come in 2 weeks, and I'm going to take all of the sinner.
Aim to commit this crime task.
The full story goes like this. His friend's mother, a deaconess at the Friendship Methodist Church in his hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio, instructed him to deal a blow to North Korea by stealing an important political slogan to be hung in her church as a trophy. As a reward, he'd receive a used car worth $10,000. Were he to be detained, the church would pay his family $200,000.
The aim of this crime was...
Oh, wow. So this was literally just all set up by North Korea, and they just framed a guy to, like, say that he was conspiring against the state.
To harm the work ethic and motivation of the Korean people.
He told his mother about his plans.
She cried and said not to do anything dangerous. I considered less, not wanting to hurt my mother. But since then, I received several alluring pressures from the Friendship United Methodist Church, leading me to finally decide on my crime attempt.
He then shared his plans with a member of the Z Society, a secret society at the University of Virginia that Otto wanted to join. He'd heard all of its members go on to get high-paying jobs.
He promised if I was successful, he would help me gain membership in the Z Society.
Finally, he decided to do it.
After I planned in detail to accomplish my plan.
Yo, and, like, do the North Korean people in this room believe this guy? Or do they also all know that this is a load of horse shit crafted up by some fucking dumbass on their end trying to say that, yeah, Otto Warmbier got paid by a random church pastor to fucking steal a poster. And that if he stole the poster, he would receive great financial gains and a used $10,000 car, as well as high-position job options when he returns. To steal a $5 fucking poster that is probably made of dog shit fucking material as well.
On the early morning of January 1st, 2016, I committed my crime of taking out the important political slogan from the staff-only area of the Angakdo International Hotel, aimed at harming the work ethic and the motivation of the Korean people.
And he explains,
what, the fucking one janitor and the maid at the hotel, dude? They probably have no guests at that fucking hotel anyway. I mean,
the plot goes all the way to the top.
The United States administration already knows about my act through the CIA, which is closely linked to the Z Society, and connived at my...
Yo, the Z Society actually sounds like some shit that's made up from like a Disney film. Like, genuinely.
crime.
The church, too, is linked to the government.
The Friendship United Methodist Church is not a typical church. It is very wealthy, with $42 million. That is why the United States administration...
Yeah, the fucking $42 million. I mean, that number might be accurate across all of the Methodist churches combined. His local Cincinnati church does not have $42 million.
Has very close ties with this church.
He was manipulated, plain and simple.
I was clearly given the task by the Friendship United Methodist Church. I was encouraged by the Z Society. My crime is very severe and pre-planned. I regret my actions more than anything. I beg for forgiveness, and I beg for help in any way possible to save my life.
완비호의 발언이 끝났습니다. 들으신 바와 같이 미 행정부는 우리 공화국을 반대하는 정말 더러운 행위를 감행하고 있습니다.
Experts agree that Otto Warmbier's confession seemed quite obviously coerced and staged.
Yeah. What? I mean, yo, how, dude, even the average North Korean person watching this, there's no way that they don't know what Methodists are. Like, I think they're just going, oh, the religion in the United States. Yeah, they always say religion's bad here. Ooh, they're conniving against us.
Korea has a history of coercing confessions, and the U.S. accused North Korea of broadcasting this one for propaganda purposes. A member of the Z Society said Otto had never approached them and denied any affiliation with the...
What is the Z Society? That's an actual thing? What the fuck? A secret society that was founded in Virginia in 1892? Remain anonymous because the belief that service, when provided anonymously, provides a unique philanthropic opportunity.
CIA. And the senior pastor at Friendship United Methodist Church said he didn't know of the deaconess mentioned by Otto. But this is later, after it's too late. Now, standing before the Supreme Court, all Otto can do is beg.
I was used and manipulated. Please, act to save me. Please save my life.
But his pleas fall on deaf ears. He's handcuffed and led from the room. He's been sentenced to 15 years of hard labor. 2 days later, on March 18, the Korean Central News Agency released the CCTV footage to the public. Western news outlets treat...
Bro, that's not him! Oh my god! I feel like the story I was fed was from North Korea. What the fuck?
The footage with suspicion. That figure could be anyone.
That shit's in 140p!
One story notes that the corridor is well lit, something that, in a country where electricity is scarce, is far from the norm for staff-only spaces. Some of his tour mates give interviews. One of them, Sarah McLaughlin, says there was an issue with the time shown in the video.
Your group had been out at a New Year's Eve party in the hours before that. Were you even back at the hotel then?
No, the time didn't match up at all.
According to her...
What the fuck? Yo! So from the start, North Korea planned on pinning this on someone, and they picked Otto because he didn't go out with the rest of them. Like, if Otto had gone bowling or something, they would have just picked somebody else.
The young pioneers didn't return to the hotel until around 3 a.m., more than an hour after the footage was allegedly captured.
Oh my god.
Another tour mate says in an interview with the BBC that Otto was careful to observe the rules. They'd been told not to take pictures of military staff or installations, and he'd been nervous when taking a photo with military personnel in the background.
Men for mig giver det simpelthen ikke mening, at den samme fyr, som stod og var så nervøs over at få taget det her ene billede, som måske var lidt på kant med det, vi havde fået at vide, vi måtte, så skulle kunne drikke sig så fuld og forvandle sig til et helt andet menneske nærmest, og så bare jorde op og prøve at stjæle et banner.
His roommate, Danny Grattan, also doubts that it was Otto.
We never mentioned anything remotely like that. We'd already bought some souvenirs. In my heart of hearts, the guy I knew for 3 or 4 days was not that type of guy.
Everything about the whole story was fabricated, in my opinion.
But why?
Otto's parents, Fred and Cindy, turned to the Obama administration for help, but the Warm
Oh, was Trump not president at this time?
Beers later said they were advised to keep quiet. According to GQ, Robert King, the special envoy for North Korean human rights issues, warned that drawing media attention to the ordeal might anger the regime.
Oh my God, and then they would just kill him. I don't even think that's bad, the government, because my point was like, if Trump was president, I feel like he'd be like, I'm just going to kill you guys, give him back. But then they would just kill him. King warned warm beers to expect a marathon, not a sprint. He recommended the family be quiet to avoid antagonizing the unpredictable regime.
Media attention to the ordeal
Yeah, because they could just do anything.
might anger the regime. What makes it even more complicated is that the United States has never had a formal diplomatic relationship with North Korea. There is no U.S. embassy in Pyongyang.
Yeah, so how are they even going to communicate?
The Swedish ambassador serves as the liaison for Americans, but the Swedes' calls and emails are met with silence. The days turn to weeks, turn to months. Efforts at back-channel diplomacy are stymied. The issue is passed from one administration to the next. No one knows where Otto is, what he's doing, or how he's being treated. Then, in early June 2017, some 17 months after his detention, the news finally arrives.
But
take their blindfolds off.
Dude, I just had a flashback memory. Sorry, I'm going to pause this a bunch. I went to a frat party in Philly one time when I was a sophomore. I wasn't 21. And it was like 2 frats. There was 2 frat parties, and we went to both. And the second one, it was packed in this outside area, and it was so loud. And the cops showed up. And I was in the back. I'm not advocating for this, by the way. I was in the backyard with a few of my friends and a few people that we had met. And a cop walks out onto the porch, which is it's like this balcony that's above everything. And he goes, and he starts screaming some shit. I just hopped the fence. I darted. Everybody just, I saw like 4 people hop the fence, and then it was like a wave, dude. Everybody just ran. I just got out of there. I mean, I just fucking ran out of that shit. And then we walked back. I ordered Taco Bell, and then I passed out. That was bad, too. There was a few frat parties I'd gone to. The last frat party I went to was my junior year. I didn't go to any my senior year. I went to a frat party my junior year, and this guy recognized me, and he was on like 3 different drugs at once. And he was like handing me these open drinks, and I just took them. And in hindsight, I was like, wow, that was like so stupid. Because he could have put anything in there. Anybody could put anything in there. It was like an open beer. That they would be like, dude, Joe Bart, here's a beer. And I'd be like, oh, thanks, man. Fucking just drink that shit. They could have just drugged me. Never got drugged at a frat party, though. But then I did get drugged at Barstool in Philly. So.
Commands to clear the room and get out of here.
Fuck that place. Never go there.
But no one's moving. Apparently they're taking us pretty serious.
Yeah, I guess.
You in charge?
You said.
Still haven't found out who's in charge?
Mo would ask for house, Dad.
Where's he
Oh
at?
my God. Is that it? Dude, he can't even fucking speak.
Mo would ask for house, Dad.
Where's he at?
Summit. Working at Summit.
House dad?
Summit, that's cool.
So, you have
obviously,
someone else coming here?
yeah, lieutenant's coming.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Definitely figure out why you wouldn't let me pass you initially.
What's crazy is this cop's probably only like 3 years younger than this dude.
Questionable.
Yeah.
I get it.
I would probably be calling your house dad or whoever to get him here, since ultimately he's probably in charge, right? Unless someone else is in charge.
I don't have his number, so.
Yeah.
Which rush is
You don't have your frat leader's number?
Yeah. Do you guys know how the fire alarm goes set off? Or just from it's manual. Goes off.
So it's this one, the hallway here. How I got set off, I'm not sure.
Yeah, like the cops can't just walk out. There's 40 naked guys in the basement. They're just supposed to be like, all right, well, there's no fire.
I don't think it was down here. It's upstairs.
I can tell you it was this one. It was
Really?
Yeah.
How long are they supposed to stay? You guys had to do this too.
Sounds like you was smoking cigarettes. Sounds like you was just screaming. Like he was just losing your voice.
Yeah. I don't know what this is. I mean, it's not like you guys didn't know there was 15, 20 people down in your basement. Come on. It's not that dumb. It's fine.
And I'm getting a little frustrated.
Dude, it's like this weird, awkward silence because nobody knows what to do next.
That no one's telling me who's in charge of what's going on.
I mean, can we get the fucking half-naked guys that are covered in mud and piss with blindfolds on to walk out? Like, they're just standing there while everybody talks. I'd be like, hey, can we, like, go upstairs or outside? Like, why are we just, like, sitting here having a chat? The frat can't be mad at you if a cop tells you to leave. That's the line, man. I understand it's like you got to listen to, like, your frat leader, but I'm like, dude, if a cop's telling me to fuck off, like, you leave.
I can help you out, but I'm not in charge. I'd like to help you, but I'm not in charge. Yeah, I mean, we asked you about your house dad, and you said, I don't have his order. Like,
How do you not? He's your house dad. How do you not have his number?
I don't see you.
Okay, and what are you doing here?
He's a live-in. He lives upstairs.
Oh, so you do live here?
No, I don't live here.
He lives here. No, I don't live here.
He's your buddy here saying different.
So my name's Lieutenant Carlson, University of Police Department. Who's in charge of the house?
Oh, this is an Iowa frat.
Our house dad's at Summit. Okay, we need him now.
You think this is Iowa State?
He's at Summit. Okay, can we get in contact with him? So here's the deal. From what I'm being told, this is like shutting down chapter type stuff. I need to start talking now. It's 1 o'clock. Yeah, that's fine. I need to talk to people. Control Summit.
Oh my god, it's 1 in the morning, dude.
Can I call Summit? Yep. I'm not calling Summit. I have no contact with Summit. You're not being very helpful.
No,
Nobody in here has any way to contact.
Sorry, out of curiosity, I want to know what day of the week it was. It's November 15th of 2024. It's a Friday. I was going to say, if this was on like a Tuesday.
The guy that's in charge of this house.
Why? I don't know. It'd just be more crazy if you were just like... I feel like being hazed at 1 a.m. on like a Tuesday would be a lot crazier than like, you know, the weekend.
This is all going in their apartment, so we're only making the situation that much worse.
The frat's cooked. I'm walking out if I'm one of the kids getting hazed right now. I'm going, why the hell am I doing this? This frat's not even going to be a thing in 6 months. I'll see you over at the next frat. I'm going to walk over and see if they'll let me join.
No contact. Okay, we need to find somebody that does. No one does. He's a house dad.
Is there anybody in my chat that's in a frat or was in a frat? I'm taking it out of sub only. Don't lie. Because I know I have viewers that are in frats. I have like, who's in, not Sketty. Oh my God. Chat, who's the chatter that comes in here all the time and tells me how he gambles a lot and he's drunk and he's in a frat? 10 tacos. Yep, there we go. 10 tacos. Imagine this was 10 tacos. Imagine that's 10 tacos. Not me. Me. Okay, so 8%. 71 people are saying they've been in a frat. Did you guys have hazing like this? Like, I've heard crazy stories. The craziest story I ever heard was from one of my friend's dads. Because hazing is still bad in a lot of frats. but it was worse. Like on average, it was worse, years ago. Like your parents' frats were crazy. I remember one of my teachers that was in a frat said he had to steal shit. He had to go steal signs from a bar. And so he would walk in, just stand on a step stool, take a fucking poster, and just run. Which is just committing, like, petty theft. And then there was another one where this is the craziest shit. Whether or not this is a fake story, I don't know. They would stand in a circle, and there would be an Oreo in the middle. And they would all have to, choke the chicken. And whoever, went last had to eat it. Soggy biscuit. That's a line. That's a hard line, right? Like, how good can the frat be that you're like, I'm willing to do this for... it would be crazy, too. Imagine you're the guy that's just like, you're in the circle, and everybody else is just, ripping it, and you're just standing there just staring. You're just like, Joe, you have to, man. You're like, no. I'll be the last.
Aren't you all supposed to have contact with him?
I feel like that, yeah, you assert dominance, you'll be like, I'll be the last one.
I never see him. What's his name? Eric. Eric, you don't know.
Take one for the team, they start crying. Dude, that'd be nuts. But that's just fucking crazy. I'm like, I understand there's a level, and we were just watching a video about how, like, people in a higher position of power than you telling you to do something, so many people just do it, especially if the people around them are doing it. But I'm like, this is hazing, but, like, I get the kids going, yeah, I'll stand shirtless, covered in mud in a basement with a blindfold on, right? Like, they're not hurting me, but it's still fucked, right? But the second they're like, all right, you guys got to walk in a circle and grab each other's dicks, I'm like, no. Sororities would do crazy shit too. I heard about one called Coker Blow or Blower Blow. One was cocaine, the other one was something else.
Oh no, you're just blocking the door so we can't see you live here. How does nobody live here then? Just hanging out.
Frats notoriously are talked about in the hazing sense the most, but sororities also haze their members.
No, you tell me. No, you tell me. I don't know.
You go to University of Iowa?
Yeah.
You do? What's your major?
Business.
Business? What's your name?
Why?
Just wondering what your name is.
Jose.
Jose? Jose, what's your last name?
Why?
Just wondering who I'm talking to.
I want to tell you that.
Hmm?
I don't want to tell you that.
Okay. How old are you?
21.
What? He's actively drinking alcohol. Oh my god, he's drinking a Bush Peach.
All right.
What's my ID?
Yeah, you got an ID or anything to prove?
Oh my god, why is he vaping right now, brother? Just hand the ID.
I think it's fake.
Huh?
I think it's fake.
You think it's fake? You think it's fake or you know it's fake? There's two different things.
Is he trolling the cop right now? I think this guy's rage baiting a police officer.
Campus 142.
Yeah, I think it's fake. I would check it if I were you.
One by deal number at Iowa when you're ready.
It's definitely not Jose. I go by Jose. I need to talk to these people here. I need to step over here. I'll step inside.
Okay.
Oh, did they clear all the guys? Oh, nope.
Is anyone in here that needs medical attention? Is anyone here that is against their will? Is there anyone here who is not participating in this? I.e. a leader?
Is there anyone with any sort of physical injury?
Oh my god, you're one of the leaders? Bro, that's a crazy tactic I didn't even think about. You're one of the leaders in the basement actively hazing the guys, and then you hear the cops, and you take your shirt off, cover yourself in water and mud, and put a blindfold on? Just stand there? Just act like you're a part of it? Holy shit.
No. I'm almost.
Huh?
It's almost like this is about. With the guy standing here. What's all over you guys?
It's just water.
Just water? What's on that dude's tie?
I'm not sure if some are.
You?
I swear to God, if I hear piss or cum, I'm going to freak out.
Serena. Does it look like it's...
Nope. You're going to stand right over there.
Why?
Because I'm telling you to.
It's my house.
It's your house. You're responsible for everything that
I'm
happened
in this
today.
fraternity,
So, okay. Check in right there. Get up again.
You know what's nuts is this is where they hold the parties too. Not a guarantee at this frat house, but most frat houses hold parties in basements that are like this dirty.
Get up against the wall. Come over here.
I never had the only frat parties I had fun at were the ones in the spring that were outside. Cause those were chill. Cause there was space. They would sometimes have like a really gross pool that was ice cold and muddy. And there would be, no one would swim in it, but there would be like 5 people that would be peer pressured into jumping into the pool. That was kind of okay. But the winter parties where they would throw them in the basement, I would be more hyped for the pregame, postgame than the actual frat party.
You're going to do the same thing. You're going to stand with your buddy over here.
Oh, they were like slapping him in the chest. Do you see that?
Milliken, take these two, ask them questions about what's going on their arms.
What's on their arms?
So, are you responsible for the house? No? Okay, who's the house dad?
I just told you he works at f***ing Summit. We'll call him. Go there.
What's his name?
Eric, I told you. Why are you asking me?
Because it sounds like you're responsible for the house.
No.
Sounds like you have some idea of what's going on.
No.
You're not very forthcoming with everything.
How about you ask the house dad? Who are you, 30 years old?
Two we're trying to get hold of.
Okay, go call him. Please.
Stay right there. You guys got IDs on you?
Yes, sir.
Let's take a look at them. Step back. I don't know if you do.
This is
back
private
up.
property.
Can we, is there no lights in the fucking house? What are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we walking around? Why are we, I just realized this. Why are we walking around with flashlights? Is the power out? What the fuck? Do they walk, is the whole house just dark?
Yeah, I can stay here.
Yeah, but right now we're investigating something that's going on.
Investigating what? There's nothing going on.
Dude, they were definitely playing like Crazy Frog on that shit. Full blast, too.
Does anyone want to be forthcoming on what's going on? Anyone? Because you got to see it from my perspective. What the did I just walk into?
Celebration.
Nobody? Celebration of what?
Of life.
Okay, sweet.
Yo, that's making it sound so much more like a cult. Oh my God. A celebration of life? They were blindfolded wet in a dark basement. What are we doing? Celebration of life. Dude, what's nuts is I didn't even think about this. The guys that are getting hazed are probably like really drunk. There would be ones where it's not like a case race, but they would segment you into groups too, and you would have to fit. It depends on the frat. They do different shit because they just come up with whatever they want to fucking do. I'm just telling you stories about what I've heard. Where it's like, because I have friends that have been in frats too. They would give you, I don't know if this counts as hazing because they could say maybe it's partying, but they would all give you, like the pledges, you know, they'd split you in groups of 5, give you a 24 rack of beer, 2 bottles of wine, and a 5th of whiskey, and go, you got to finish this by the end of the night. And so it was like, all right, you know, oh my God. He has like bite marks on his arms.
Okay, you too. The reason I pulled you guys aside. We're here for public
That's
safety.
100% hazing. No, I know it's hazing, but I'm saying it's like, obviously hazing's illegal in 44 states. I'm saying what they count as hazing is like a weird gray area.
Okay, at this point, what's on your arms?
Oh.
Where are you guys going now?
They kind of look like they're covered in oil.
$127. Can I get you back down here? What's on your neck?
I don't know. I can't see.
What is that? What is that? What is that dried stuff on his fucking neck?
That looks like blood, is it? Shining your light. Is it blood?
That's what I'm asking.
Want to taste it?
No.
Okay.
Do you see why we're here? Why we're asking questions?
I don't know. You got the wrong guy.
I mean, bro, we're not getting kudos points right now for nodding along with this.
I was gonna ask those guys questions, and then he told them all to start heading out.
What's up?
I was gonna ask those two guys questions, but then they all started falling out.
They left.
No,
Oh, is he telling him to leave?
I stopped them, but he was.
Misunderstood. Did you pull these guys out?
No, I went to go talk to those guys, and then they started coming out.
Why did we come out?
So I said that. I said they should come out.
You said it?
I did.
So you're in charge. I know you said you're not in charge.
Not in charge.
Okay. You president?
Yes.
Step aside.
The officers finally speak to the fraternity president.
I'm going to tell you first and foremost, I'm a little frustrated, but we're going to get through it, okay? What's going on tonight?
It's their lead up to initiation.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the deal with what are we doing in the basement?
It's basically a ritual where they're blindfolded.
Okay.
And get messed with.
Okay. So the entire time that we've been here, which has now been, I think, 15, 20 minutes, we have been demanding to speak to somebody in charge.
Why would you want to be in a frat? I mean, from the perspective of somebody that's in a frat, and from talking to people that have been in frats and going to frat parties, I get there being some level of them being fucked with that they deem worth it. Like, one of my friends was a roach man, and every time there was a blunt, he had to eat it. So if they finished a blunt, they would hand it to him, and he had to chew it and eat it. And from his perspective, it's like, okay, I have to do that. That's gross. But then once he's past it, and he said he swallowed like 20 or 30, like not over a day, but like over the course of whenever he had to do it. And when you go to these frat parties, these guys, like, I don't want to say it's like power tripping, but like they have power, right? When you go to these frat parties, because when you're in college, the majority of people that go to these parties aren't 21, right? Because the reason I didn't go to frat parties my senior year is because I was 21. I could go to a bar. Why do I want to go to a dirty basement, right? I would rather just go to a bar or a club. I have to pay to go, yeah, but you have to pay to go to a frat too. So it's like these guys are basically getting money, and I mean, obviously the money's going to the frat, but they're like doormen, and they have, they're cooler because they're the frat parties. And then those frat leaders also have nights where it's parties with other sororities. So it's like, not only is there a power incentive for them to join, they also deem it as like a cool thing to do, right? Because there's parties they have where a bunch of people go. Oh, and there's nights where like frats do nights with sororities. And like a sorority has like a date night with like a frat, and they party together. And then obviously those guys want to get laid or they want to do other shit. So it's like they're seeing it as like, well, long term, I'm getting some benefit out of it.
Where nobody knows you, apparently, in the house.
Okay.
Nobody knows who's in charge. Like, here's the deal.
I'm too European for this. Europeans.
Otto is unconscious. An extraction team of doctors and diplomats is put together. And finally,
Let me start by saying that I'm glad Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and I, along with a very talented team, were able to get Otto Warmbier back with his parents.
Fucking idiot, dude. Like, I mean, like, we got Otto Warmbier back. He's in a fucking coma. We got Otto Warmbier back. He's brain dead. He's, what the fuck? We got him off the plane. You got him back. You got a body back, bro. You ain't get the guy back. Otto's not there mentally.
Otto Warmbier is returned to U.S. soil on June 13.
We're thrilled that our son is on American soil, and I'm able to talk to you on Otto's behalf, and I'm able to wear the jacket that he wore when he gave his confession. Otto, I love you, and I'm so crazy about you.
Bro, this whole fucking thing feels weird, man. Like, even there, I feel like the dad would be, like, crashing out.
Last night, being able to see Otto for the first time in, gosh, I bet it's 18 months, it was fantastic.
Mad at Trump? I'm not mad at Trump. I'm just saying that speech where they were like, oh, we got Otto Warmbier back. Like, it's not a victory, bro. He's not, like, make sure he's alive and well. Like, that'd be like, we got this person back. He's in a vegetative state.
Otto's not in great shape right now, and he's been through a real tough time, and it's great to have him with us, and I'm very proud of him.
Otto is home.
Were they supposed to leave him there? No, but don't announce on a press conference to up your PR that you got a guy back like you just killed Osama bin Laden, when in reality, the guy you got back, you didn't get back safe. That's all I'm saying. Like, they were met with soft ears, did nothing for 17 months, and then he comes back fucking almost dead.
When Cindy and Fred met Otto at the airport, they were shocked.
We walked over to the plane. We heard this howling, involuntary, inhuman sound. Otto was on the stretcher across in the plane, and he was jerking violently, making these inhuman sounds. Otto had a shaved head. He had a feeding tube coming out of his nose. He was blind. He was deaf.
We got Otto Warmbier back. Like, you see the point I'm trying to make? You see the point? That's all I was just trying to say. Can we lock back in on this poor guy that's dying, right? Like, that's all I was just trying to say is, like, why are you giving a speech like it's a fucking victory, bro? Like,
He was taken to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center's Neuroscience Intensive Care Unit, where extensive imaging and diagnostic tests immediately began.
His vital signs were stable upon arrival and have remained so.
He doesn't need...
He was blind, deaf, on a feeding tube, and convulsing violently. Wow.
help breathing, no signs of infection. No.
What do we know why? Do we know why they sent him back? Like, did North Korea just ship him back? Fern didn't fill that. He said the Swedish liaison couldn't contact North Korea. Nothing happened for 17 months, and then randomly they're informed that he's unconscious and he's shipped back to the United States. So what? Like, North Korea, like, almost killed the guy and went, oh, fuck, now this is going to be a problem. We got to send him back.
Dysfunction of non-neurological organs. His neurological condition, though, is described as unresponsive wakefulness.
Oh, were they, like, electrocuting him or something?
What used to be called a vegetative state. He blinks. Sometimes his eyes open, but he isn't aware of his surroundings and doesn't respond to verbal commands.
Oh, are you not supposed to say that anymore? I thought that was like a fucking medical term. No, it just says it's unresponsive. A vegetative state or unresponsive wakefulness syndrome means a person is awake but shows no signs of awareness, purposeful response to their environment, and this is due to severe brain damage. Yeah, so they were like torturing him.
To see how he came home was too much for us, but I almost passed out, but I got it together and I rode in the ambulance with him because I did not want him to be alone anymore. He'd been alone for way too long.
He's surrounded by his loved ones, but his condition soon worsens. He develops a high fever, 40 degrees Celsius. Fred and Cindy Warmbier are told that he'll never wake up, and they ask to have his feeding tube removed. 6 days after his release, Otto is dead. The news travels across the world.
The family of Otto Warmbier has said goodbye.
Valid. That's what I'm saying, dude. When you get told that they're never going to wake up and they're just going to be perpetually kept alive on machines, it's time, you know?
Sätzen nach dem Tod des
Sad.
Studenten Otto Warmbier.
Otto Warmbier скончался после возвращения из тюрьмы в Северной Корее.
Otto Warmbier murió pocos días después de ser entregado a los...
And what's so bad is we won't even know what they did to him, right? Because it's like, if he had woken up, he could have been like, Jesus Christ, and like told his story of like the North Korean prison camps and how they tortured him and all this other stuff, but he's fucking dead. So it's just like they literally just got sent a body.
而在台湾时间今天20号凌晨去世。
The American student who fell into a coma while in North Korean custody and has died.
On June 22, in Wyoming, Ohio, more than 2,500
There's a city named Wyoming, Ohio.
people attend his funeral. The condition in which Otto Warmbier came back to the U.S. and his
I did not know that there were cities that had the state name for a city. 500 people attended his funeral. Wow.
Wyoming, Ohio, more than 2,500
They always say the impact on the people you had in your life is determined by how many people show up at your death.
people attend his funeral. The condition in which Otto Warmbier came back to the U.S. and his subsequent death are discussed nationwide. He left the United States in good health. He returned on the brink of death.
Do you know what happened to him in North Korea?
Untrue. I don't think it's untrue, but I think how you affect and touch people in your life does matter, right? The people that care are the people that show up.
I don't.
Content note: the following chapter discusses suicide. Viewer discretion is advised. Upon his release, North Korea gave an explanation for Otto's state. They said he contracted botulism, a rare and severe kind of food poisoning, after eating a meal of spinach and pork. After he fell
They were probably giving him fucking slop and actual terrible food, dude. Like, they weren't keeping him in good condition.
ill, they gave him a sleeping pill, to which he had some sort of unexpected reaction, which sent him into a state of unresponsive wakefulness. But U.S. medical experts are quick to dispute this story. 3 doctors, experts in neurology, ran tests on Otto while he was still alive. At the request of the family, they hold a press conference to give their opinions.
Those tests did not reveal any evidence of active or chronic denervation, nor any repetitive stimulation that would suggest active botulism at this time.
The North Koreans,
So they just made that shit up. I mean, yo, that's actually fucking unreal, dude.
teams are lying, and the Warmbiers have a different story.
They tortured him. They intentionally injured him. It looked like someone had taken a pair of pliers and rearranged his bottom teeth. He had a large scar on his right foot.
They destroyed him.
They purposely and intentionally injured Otto.
On September 25, 2017, Fred and Cindy Warmbier gave an
I do love that they're doing this now, where they're like, because I didn't keep involvement in this after this happened. I just had known that he had died. But I love that they went out on news stations and were like speaking against it.
interview on Fox and Friends. Trump apparently watched. This becomes the narrative: physical torture.
Yeah.
And, as a consequence, brain damage. But soon, serious doubts emerge. Let's go through his injuries one by one. First, there was a noticeable scar on Otto's right foot. This is Dr. Lakshmi Kota Samarko, the coroner selected to conduct an external autopsy. Fred Warmbier had no
Lock in chat for the next video, Prankless Harms.
See, I find that pranks are all fun and games when they come in the form of harmless pranks.
Sure, can I see your receipt?
But on the other side of that spectrum, we have prank.
I love that video. He's just like fully fearful and shocked. Walks to the Walmart representative. That guy ate my receipt. Actually, my favorite ones are when a guy will walk up to like one of those Walmart receipt checkers and hand them like a note card that says like Big Chungus or something, and they just stare at them. And the old person freaks out and goes to a representative, and they're like, this person didn't pay for their items. And then they actually take out the real receipt and hand it to the, like, younger manager. And then the manager's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you saw and they make the old woman seem like crazy.
Spectrum, we have prankless harms.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of these. I also, yeah, well, this is fake, but I'm not a fan of I'm not a fan of like public harassment pranks, if that makes sense. When you go to Walmart and you like with an employee for 5 seconds, that's different from when you're outwardly like following a random person in public for 30 minutes to see how far you could egg them and rage them to the point where they like actually pull out a gun and shoot you. That's like another level of trying to make stupid content. Or like there's guys, bro, there's like up and coming not YouTubers. They make content on TikTok where they'll just go like punch homeless people. Do you see that shit? It was like on Twitter. It was like this one kid, he like went around and just like pushed over old people at a park. I'm like, dude, you're just assaulting people. This isn't a prank. Like, you're actually just beating up old people.
If you're unsure what this video I'm showing you right now is, this is the killing my best friend prank. I say prank.
Well, that was like, what year was that, bro? That had to be like 2016 YouTube.
But take a look at this dude. Now let's see what the supervillain that orchestrated this has to say.
Let's see how he reacts to his best friend of 5 years being
My name's Sam Pepper.
Killed in front of him.
I'ma say you took this one like a champ, really. Light work, no reaction. See, the problem with prank content is that it's stuck in this never-ending competition, you know, to do something new. Or
it's not even do something new, it's bigger and better. Because, like, how many times... That's the issue of prank content, is you can't reformat it. Nothing can be changed in prank content to where it feels new unless you do something bigger. Like, you remember when prank content was as simple as, like, walking into a Walmart and football spiking a gallon of milk on the ground like you slept? I mean, it was harmless in the sense of, like, now a worker has to clean this up. But it was a low-level prank. Like, you were fucking just dropping milk in a Walmart. But how many times can you do that and it still gets views? So then you have to keep scaling until it's like, I'm killing my best friend prank.
To top the last prank that the people have seen. Now, don't mistake me for somebody that I am not. I have a love in my heart for prank content. It's damn near all I was watching as a kid. Right now I'm on my intellectual arc, so let me share some wisdom with you. People find pranks funny because they play on surprise and incongruity, breaking expectations in harmless ways that trigger laughter. Key word there, harmless. And also humans at our core, we're deadass just evil, okay? We like to laugh at other people's misfortunes. And over time, pranks have done nothing but evolve, I think in mostly good ways. But even a lot of the pranks back then were kinda OD. You'll remember this guy with the
I think, like, cosplay pranks are also pretty funny and, like, harmless. Where, like, the guy that does the Labubu shit, Juicy Jacob, he'll go into a Walmart dressed as the Lorax and walk around. Or people, like, if you do that, that's kind of chill because you're not fucking with people. So no, not me. It's not me. As I was saying, though, I think if you do that and you're, like, cosplaying as certain people, like Megamind, and you're just, like, walking around and fucking with people, it's like they could just ignore you if they don't like you, versus you, like, directly walking up and targeting somebody and being like, hey, and then trying to fuck with them.
Pansexual mother of 3 haircut. Yeah, this 2017 tall fishman having cut-ass nigga.
Bruh, I remember I used to think that haircut was so hard, though. Bro, that was, like, the ideal haircut.
Ass nigga, this is Prank Invasion. Yeah, he's best known for his kissing prank.
What up, invaders? Chris here. All right, so today we're here at Venice Beach, and we're gonna be kissing girls right in front of their boyfriends.
Okay. Just one question for you, gang.
That's not really a prank. That's not really a prank. I'm gonna go make out with guys' girlfriends.
How is this a prank? I'm just struggling to see how, you know, going up to a stranger and kissing them falls under that classification. Just sounds a little sus to me. I guess it was working for him because he was pulling hella views and he was just, you know, rinsing and repeating this with just different versions.
Who's the guy that got, like, really spiritual and kind of went insane? And he used to do, like, prank content, but it was effectively him just taking his shirt off and flexing. No, not Gideon. Gideon didn't go insane. Who's the guy that I'm talking about? He would flex. He would just walk out in public and be like, not Fousey. Connor Murphy. Y'all remember Connor Murphy? Bro, he would literally just, like, walk around in public and just, like, take his shirt off. And that was the video.
That
counts. I think we lost this nigga at the sister edition, though.
I'm gonna try to kiss my sister.
Anywho, I think at least most pranksters stopped faking their pranks after it became like a whole scandal. Personally, I didn't even find it deep, as long as I couldn't tell or it wasn't extremely obvious. Something that just never did it for me was all those channels that would prank their significant other like over and over again.
Well, that was just family channels. This time, I'm gonna prank my wife and think, like, there would be wives videos where she'd be like, this time I'm gonna sleep with a mannequin in my bed and make my husband think I'm cheating on him.
Roman Atwood.
Not funny.
You can only kill your kid so many times before I start believing your girlfriend's
Roman Atwood did a kill your kid prank.
reaction.
That's like traumatizing. Killing my kid prank.
I blew up my kid is a classic prank though. I'll give it to you.
Did she actually believe it?
But there was this other channel.
Oh my god, that's like kind of fucked. Did she freak out though? She had to be in, she had to have been in on it. You could tell the explosions way after.
But there was this other channel, Prank versus Prank, and their whole thing was just boyfriend and girlfriend pranking each other over and over again. They did like 6 or 7. They did like 6 or 7 cheating pranks. Bro, when you have a whole prank channel dedicated to you pranking each other, you're gonna live on edge like the whole time. So after the 3rd cheating prank, it's like, bro, your reaction is not going to be genuine.
Well, yeah, like after a point, you're just going into every day assuming that your partner's going to prank you for the channel. But you have to lean into it, otherwise it's not content. So that's when you get those like really corny ass intros like, "What's up, Ace? What's up, A-fam? We're going to be pranking my girlfriend today and making her think that I cut my own fucking foot off."
Like these two deadass used to just terrorize each other. Like this prank where he laces her food with a ghost pepper. I think we need to realize just because the camera's on.
That's kind of fucked up. Being like, hey babe, try this. It's just a ghost pepper.
Doesn't make something a prank. If you are genuinely just causing somebody harm, that is not a prank. And there was these 2 kids that just...
Yeah, it almost got to the point where like, I think if YouTube didn't have guidelines, I think there would actually be like drugging my friend pranks. Like that would be... I wouldn't even be surprised if there's a YouTube video from like 2013 that's like that. Like, give my friend Xanax to see how he reacts.
Decided to do a robbery prank. Or how did they go about this prank? Did they use like bananas instead of guns? No, these...
Well, the robbery pranks, some of those YouTubers actually died. Where they would we watched a video on that, where some guy fake robbed a group of guys and he pulled out a fucking knife and they just took out a gun and shot him. I'm like, what did you think was going to happen? You walked up to a group of fucking people on a parking lot with a knife, and you're like, they're not going to fight back?
Niggas use real knives. And this went as bad as possible. One kid was shot dead on the spot. Rest in peace, though, for real. But broskito, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. But you know what prank I really mess with? The screaming prank.
Bro, didn't some TikToker get arrested for that? Like, recently. Wasn't there a TikToker that got fucking arrested for, like, screaming in, like, a Walmart and blaming it on his friend? What's the crime there?
This was revolutionary. This is what pranking needs. Because modern-day pranking, right now, is just a whole lot of rage bait.
Okay, I saw one today where he's checking out at a Walmart and he's like one by one handing the cashier the things he's buying, and it's like a cucumber, magnums, baby oil, chapstick, like one normal thing, a box of chicken nuggets. And then he would just keep handing him, and the guy's face is just going like wider and wider, and he's trying to keep his composure because he's like, there's no way this guy's buying this.
Or straight up just confusing people.
I really don't know because I don't really know. Because it's gonna be like a 4-foot drop because I have a really expensive phone. I have a 14 Pro Max.
And the screaming prank was just another one of these. Until we introduced the twisted yet genius prospect of the backup screamer. See what the original prank was? You just have somebody scream in a Walmart or something, and then you had to try and convince them that it was not you.
It wasn't me.
But the integration of the backup screamer.
The integration of the backup screamer brought all the attention off you, especially if they sounded like you. I've seen backup screamers that don't scream the same, and it's not convincing because the people are going to remember the pitch, right? You need somebody that has a very similar voice to you.
Somebody else take the fall. Genius. Simply just genius. Now, just before I mentioned rage bait pranks, now there's a thin line with this one between harmless prank and prankless harm. Rage bait pranks been around forever, like the calling black people neighbor prank.
What's up, my neighbor?
Or the farting in the hood prank, or the staring at people in the hood prank, pretty much anything in the hood. Black people.
Bro, those pranks were fucking nuts. They would just be a guy that would walk up to somebody and be like, I'm like, you're asking to get beat the fuck up. Like, how much would somebody have to pay you to go in public and just stare at someone? Like, but not even from afar, like directly to their face. And when they say stuff, you don't respond. I would think that they would murder me. I'm not doing that for any amount of money. $10? For $10, bro, your ass is caving. Your ass is caving. You're not doing that. If I gave you $10, you're not walking up to a guy and going, you would maybe do it. And the second he goes, what are you doing, bro? You're walking away. You're going to be like, I'm sorry, man. Okay, so there's like a camera over there. I'm getting paid. You're going to be like, I'll give you half the money. You would immediately give up.
A content farm for pranksters. And why I say there's a thin line, because, you know, we obviously have pranks like staring at people in the hood. Because obviously you're not causing anyone harm, but you know how they're going to react, you know? So when a petite white guy goes around...
I think that's anywhere, though, bro. You stare at somebody like that, they'd be like, bro, what are you on?
In the hood saying, my neighbor, with the hottest ER you've ever heard. Yeah, he's going to get some reactions out of people. But when you get to putting your cheeks all up in people's faces... Even if it's a real fart or not, that's a reasonable crash out. Oh, and there's this...
Okay, but that is kind of funny, though, when you're in, like, a subway and somebody rips ass as a prank. Not like the fart spray. I've seen that video. Where he's in a subway and he's spraying fart spray on himself like it's cologne. And there's, like, somebody in the background just gagging.
One guy on TikTok, right, that gets employees into the craziest positions and has them say some crazy shit.
Come in.
Are you in? Are you in?
In my ass?
I don't know how he'd be getting away with these. He just calls them brain teasers and people do them. Like, I know it's not part of your job to be in this position when a customer asks.
Come in my butt, come in my...
You high-key did this to yourself. And also just being a public nuisance.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, some random guy walks up to you and you're like, yo, you gotta get on your knees and say, but spell run. Be like, what's the brain teaser here?
Since I don't think that falls under the prankless harm category.
Yoo-hoo, it's a boo-boo. Okay.
Joe, I love you so much.
You motherfucker! I'm not, it's not me. That's not me. That's not me. That's Juicy Jacob. He does harmless pranks.
But what I mean by being a public nuisance, this guy Vitaly got arrested for unjust.
The guys that go to different countries and play pranks on people is like, fucking, well, the guys that go to other countries and play pranks on people, their pranks are usually just like blatant racism. You know what I mean? Like that, who's the other, not Vitaly, who's the other guy that went to like South Korea and he also got like arrested or beat up and he was just like sitting in a 7-Eleven just like playing fucking like racist audios. It wasn't Fuzi. Yeah, Johnny Somali.
This guy Vitaly got arrested for unjust vexation, which is the crime of being annoying. And before the arrest, he was low-key on a different path too. Instead of...
Is that really a crime? Just being annoying?
Of terrorizing civilians, he focused his attention on predators. Now, what he was doing to him.
Yeah, a lot of them will hard pivot content-wise to that because then it's more socially accepted. But they'll still do the other shit on the side. Is Vitaly in jail right now? I thought he got out. He was in the Philippines, right? Is Vitaly in jail? He was held in a holding facility facing deportation. Wouldn't you want to be deported? Isn't being deported, like, good in this situation?
And I high-key can't even be mad about it. If your calling is terrorizing people, you know, these are not bad people to choose. Even Gideon did the same method. A running theory of mine is that...
Well, Gideon, he used to make regular prank videos. Stopped. And then he was making... Didn't he have, like, a period... I know he's still very religious now. But didn't he have a period in time where he was just making, like, straight-up religious content? Like, he had... It was, like, a few-month period or where he wasn't making content at all. I remember he made an announcement.
People that make
He never
content
did. Yeah, but he did stop for a minute.
Genuinely find enjoyment in causing other people misery. And if they're getting backlash for doing it to random people, I mean, why not do it to people less deserving of human rights? It probably does get to a point though. This might be a little bit overdoing it. It's debatable though. But then there's this other kid, Heston James, you've probably heard of him, who's facing 9 years in prison.
For doing the screamer shit.
They have this nigga on 13 charges because of some YouTube pranks. And what's funny is under a Fox News video reporting on this, it's like a bunch of middle-aged people just flaming this nigga. Diggler Duck said, influencer is just a euphemism for malignant narcissist. What does that even mean? First thing, dumbass. Not an influencer, so fuck everything you just said doesn't mean shit. This guy Arthur said, ban
TikTok, arrest these clowns, make them pay restitution to the companies they affected. They can clearly afford it with all the money they're making for the videos.
TikTok, arrest these clowns, make them pay restitutions to the companies they've affected.
Bitch, shut the fuck up. Side boo you, bitch.
What do they think happens after a teenager pretends to be a mechanic at a shop? The whole business just goes into ruins.
The business burns down. They don't know what they can fucking do anymore to fucking get customers.
Maybe 10 minutes of their time was taken up. That's being generous too.
I think if you're one of those prank people that were like licking ice creams and putting them back in the fucking container and back on the shelf, yeah, you should have to fucking pay for that. But if you're like walking in to a public, you know, business and pranking somebody and leaving, that's different. There's a difference between actually publicly pranking people and doing genuine vandalism.
And I'm not saying it doesn't.
And like fucking what do they even be? That would be more than vandalism. If you were like eating products and putting them back, what is that? That's like a health violation.
Doesn't affect these people at all. Obviously, this shit is probably annoying as hell. I'm just saying it's not that serious. Okay, multiple criminal charges over this. Who we should be prosecuting is them fuck-ass niggas from 2016 who dressed as killer clowns and terrorized the youth.
Bro, I flat out have the take that if your dumbass was out on a random road in the middle of nowhere at 2 a.m. dressed as a clown holding a knife and somebody runs your ass over, that is fully your fault. That era was so weird where people were like, yeah, let's just go stand out in the woods and wait for people. I'd be like, bro, no, you're actually gonna fucking murder someone.
2016, I was only a baby. But there was genuinely a stretch of time where I didn't feel comfortable going outside. Damn.
Yeah, bro, scary. I remember because it was so common. And then there was like a weird mixture of people that were prankers versus people that were actually psychopaths dressed as clowns trying to like kill people.
I'm really out here being the prank police. But I deadass think a lot of quote-unquote pranks are just acts of terrorism. Okay, maybe I dragged that a little bit. Except for the fake bum prank. That one definitely fits. Correct me if I'm wrong, but what pranks are meant to be is tricking someone into getting a reaction that applies to a situation that isn't how it seems, you know what I mean? So if you were to say, oh look, there's a camera over there, they'll just be cool about it. And not genuinely bringing someone to a point where their veins are protruding out of their forehead. Chill. But deadass, I don't really...
And I think people have gotten a reluctancy to cameras more than they used to. You remember the days, like the early days of Impractical Jokers? I bet they had some bad experiences, but I feel like with a lot of early prank shows, it was as simple as being like, you're on a show, calm down, there's the camera. And it was cool because it was like, oh my God, I'm going to be on TV. Now it's like, fuck you, I don't want to be on your bitch ass TikTok. Like, it's full switched. Because it used to be like cool to be like, oh, I'm going to be on TV versus like, no, fuck you, I don't want to be involved at all with whatever the fuck you're filming.
I only comment on things because I can. I just get both sides of hate and love towards prank.
Yeah, no, I think prank content in general, it's like you got to walk a thin line.
Content. Because if this was me in this video and somebody just comes up to my shit and turns it off, yeah, I would be mad. But it is kind of funny, though. But this prank here is high-key my favorite prank ever, just for this guy's reaction. This guy's just taking items out of this old guy's trolley and saying, oh, you don't own it yet because you haven't paid for it. And for some reason, this is his reaction.
Don't be a racist. Come on.
How am I being racist?
Because you're picking on a white guy.
I just wanted to share that. Because I thought it was funny.
Oh, my God.
Don't be a racist because you're picking on a white guy. I would just be like, don't be like a dick, bro. What do you mean? How's that racist? Like, he's the only white guy in the whole fucking store. WVED.